Need to come on
User, your channel started recording.
Asmodeus Halcyon and Malkout still need to be invited to the ops group.
I'm still lonely.
We're working on that.
Evil sounding voice ever.
We're trying to get everybody.
Thank you, Notch.
Guys, invite this person.
Multi. Look for me.
Again, holy typing skills, I applaud you. Being a yeoman, I applaud the shit out of you for having typing skills.
Hey, Kate, can you stop fucking typing, please?
Let's try and keep this a little civil, and that's not going to be acceptable.
Oh no, that's just me messing around with Kate, I know him.
Okay.
You mean I can't give the squid shit?
It's alright, his chairs are pretty comfortable.
In fact, me, Kate, and Nogos are all really long time friends.
Alright, cool.
So if I shit talk them, it's not real.
Alright, cool. Let's see, we need...
Hey, who's Notch? Or Notch. Yeah, Notch on it. Upside Des.
Banjo.
Banjo? Oh, hi, Banjo.
Don't know if you have to
User
walk.
in your channel is recording.
Stay up here. Don't forget, all audio is going to be in forums by tomorrow night. For those that are wondering.
So if anyone
User
wants
in
to
your
dance
channel
stuff,
is
we can
recording.
sing the Beatles song. We all live in a yellow submarine.
Yellow submarine.
It's very much silver.
The Rancor doesn't fit. I apologize now. But I'm like, I'm 2 inches from your face. Whoever this is.
Holy lag. God.
Of course, Arcanic Survival Corps here. How'd I know?
Is he on push to talk, or is he just catching the, or is he on voice activate and just catching the end?
I don't know where to stand.
Who,
I wanna feel
Arcor?
tall. I want to feel tall.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Does that work?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
What are we doing, Des?
I'm just trying to get everyone into the ops groups right now, and Lorilla said he's on his way right now.
Okay. Hey, let's come in.
Where are the... Hey, somebody from Rose Corp's here.
Reporting
I'm taking my spot.
from the free. Do you guys have ops groups going?
Yes, we do have ops group going. If you're in a group right now that's not an ops group by Notch or Decel Revis, leave your group, please.
I am not in any groups.
If we are in a ops group, what do we do?
Stay there.
Yep.
Tall. Side's always broken.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, great. Science Apostles did make it. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I just recently got back on and am filling in for Rav.
So good. Honestly, Rav and Lyric were not sure until yesterday what was going on.
User in your channel is recording.
Because of all the people here, my fucking game is lagging.
I know, right? We are too.
Lurk's on his way home
read the
right now,
chat
so he
and it
might
keeps
get on.
going fucking black.
Although I feel like I know some of you in here already.
Record has not been broken, by the way. Putting that out there.
Hey, is Laird coming?
He might
Nah,
have just
he
got
can't
off
make it.
work.
God damn it, Laird.
User in your channel is recording. User disconnected from your channel.
Alright, we got Lorilla.
Yay, Lorilla made it. Yeah.
Sad with so many people here, I gotta put my beefy computer on low graphics just to walk around.
It's not that bad. Republic side is worse.
Really? You have to put a decent computer on low graphics? I'm on my laptop and I'm doing alright.
I have no lag whatsoever.
Okay, I don't know what's happening, but like my chat box keep disappearing. I don't know if anyone else has that issue where like your chat box, like random parts of it will just disappear.
Nope, not at all.
Pretty sure everyone in Notch's group goes over the Notch.
Yes,
So
until we
let's go.
get everyone in the groups, then we can set back up.
I'm gonna stay perched here. Everyone that's a Notch's ops, go to Notch. Let's go. You guys are all pitched up in the middle. Notch is on the other side of the fountain.
Wait, what'd you say?
Go.
User in your channel
Just
is
having everyone
recording.
go to Notch right now. Because they're all pitched up in the middle.
Even if we're in an ops group?
Yeah. If you're in Notch's ops group, go to the side.
If you're
Okay.
in Decil's ops group, stay on the
More
right
Decil.
side.
Yeah.
Yep. So far, we're only missing one person from our group anyway.
That's Evangeline. But it doesn't really matter.
User in your channel started recording.
Should be good.
Lyric will be on in, like you said, about 25 minutes, so if we're still on, he might.
So Lyric is coming?
Yeah, he just got off work. He's on his way home. I asked him if he's going to make it on. And he told me about
Awesome.
25.
Awesome.
Well, wait, no, he told me so like 25 mutes.
Okay, we're doing good. Synovian Empire's in the middle. All looked out. Besides that,
We're just, I guess we're just waiting on Lorilla and I think one other person to show up. Does anyone have a mail droid?
I do.
Yeah.
Same
And we'll
pub
just
side,
bring out an
sorry.
army of male droids.
Oh, that's a repair droid. Everyone, bring out
I
the
got
army
it.
of fucking mail
Repair
droids.
or mail
Here we go.
droids.
Mail droid army.
guys, I had to have my guildie give me 5k to get
Oh my
them
God.
on here. Come on. I don't have a mail droid on this tune.
Yeah, Star Wars
Desi is
Episode
not
7,
in the-
Revenge of the Mail Droid Army.
And it was a mail from somebody already here.
Testing.
Hello.
Wait, there was a mailbox right over
Jezia
there.
is not in the ops group from Chaos's Bounty.
Yeah.
It looks like
I was
Tyrant.
saying that no one was
Well, now
listening.
what
There's
now?
a mailbox right over there.
Dez is just too lazy to
User in
walk.
your channel timed out.
For real.
I don't think I've seen this many Marauders in one place since I started playing.
Okay. We can.
More like assassins.
I didn't know this
Well,
many
I've seen
people
assassins
played Marauders.
everywhere. Yeah, I'm like, I'm looking at all these Marauder symbols and I'm like, holy cow, I thought I was the only one.
This is because it's almost the opposite of Dez. But it had to be a Sith.
That's how I made this character for my.
Again, typing skills impeccable, my friend, impeccable.
Wouldn't the opposite of Dez be a Sork?
In that case, you better report.
Different playstyle though. This guy's more of a rager.
Okay, so Dez is the Supreme Chancellor.
User in your channel
snap.
is recording.
He figured it out.
He's
Brianna, just go ahead and come stand with me.
He's actually
adding
just
all these-
hosting this, and he's gonna betray you at the end. He's gonna give you an army. It's all gonna betray you guys, and the Republic's gonna win.
Well, joke's on him, because both sides are gonna fall.
To the phone.
True. That is
Next
true.
to the phone.
Can't find you.
That is so true.
Massive people. Oh wait, no, I found you.
And
Someone
this area
get
gets
a Kosis. That's Lorella. I should get a Kosis.
Akosis and Jiza.
I'll put one last. I'll put a few.
If we can, preferably in the same ops group as Shoots of Chaos, since from the same order. But if not, then alright, it's alright.
He's at the base of the fountain.
User in your channel is recording.
Oh.
Are we out of instance then? Are we in 2 instances now? Okay.
We're not 2 instances.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
Well, congratulations, you guys have caught up to the Republic. Ish.
Surprisingly.
Nah, we're still behind as far as GMs attending, though.
That is true.
A few of them just logged in.
Join the channel.
Still need 11 more before we can match the Republic side.
56 people came into the Republic TeamSpeak. We're at 45 right now.
Actually, the top out was 62.
Okay, never mind.
Go Republic.
You guys got a lot more.
Now, Dez, can we count those of us that are both pub side and imp side?
Yes.
Oh, then
Alright.
Citremba, you count. I don't.
User in your channel is recording.
Added everybody.
These ads going.
Pretty fast.
Damn, Kate, I hear your mic still wants to pick up your typing.
You know it loves that.
You
Like I'm just gonna sit here and start smacking on my keyboard.
No,
I was about to say,
Please push to talk whenever possible.
Yes. Okay.
Dez?
Definitely inside.
Yes.
So I'm the swag police. I'm gonna have to ask you to get off that flashing mouth. Hop in, sir.
Dez, go for a swim. I want to see if a Rancor floats. Definitely doesn't float.
Right here, the max.
Now go into the ocean. Try floating.
You can't. Can you jump in the water?
Wait, you can't? I want to try this. I'm gonna jump in the water.
I'm doing
I do
it.
have to apologize. Us starting a little bit late here. We had a few snags with some things.
Hey,
Do you
Republic Summit. Okay, just put us out of the Republic Summit started 1 hour late.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
Dez, are you gonna go
don't jump in
over
the water.
like a synopsis of what went down pub side,
there's a video.
so we don't cover the same stuff?
Yes. I'm gonna go over part of it.
Awesome.
We're totally not going to talk
Next
about
summit
roleplay.
will be between both sides together to cross faction.
I'm not
That
the
is
only
going to have
person
to be
that
a
jumped.
limit to +1. Absolutely.
So are all the people from Sonovian still here? Or did they leave?
They're still here. Do you need them to leave?
No, they're fine. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Thank you,
They're good.
Core. I'm gonna.
We might need them to go to the second instance for the extras that are not representing the guild.
We can do that. One sec.
Because we have some people that are coming still.
Like right in the
I'm
middle.
googling that summit.
And there also will be a version of the Imperial Summit by tomorrow.
There's going to be a third ops group because some people are still not in.
Yes, there will be.
Okay.
Jasseri is going to be forming that group.
The one who's poking people.
No. Everyone jump.
The one with the lightning.
Go down. Go jump, Jasseri. Jump, Jasseri.
And the snowballs and tinsel.
Just a fair warning, Dez. Shy's drunk and being
Bonner's
loud
gonna
in the
have-
background. So if you hear anything weird, yeah.
I'm stoned.
I'm white.
Same here.
Hey, dude.
Oh, here we go. And the Navy guy is probably sober. Is sober as shit. Here we are.
Yo, come
User
over
in your
here.
channel is recording.
Y'all make me miss being a civilian so bad.
Yo, right here.
That's...
Gil.
What?
Come over here.
I don't even know where you are. Okay. I'm here. Just so you know, Crimcord, this fucking video looks cool already from the thumbnail.
Do we have Nemthit in the TeamSpeak yet?
I don't know.
All I'm seeing is Nas,
Okay.
and Novos.
Okay.
There's one thing
We
I hate
got
about
Nas?
YouTube though.
What's going on, Nas? Good to have you.
Thank you.
3-hour YouTube video, and the first words I hear is so you can
skip to 17 minutes in. Skip to 17 minutes in, and you'll have the impression of
User
your life.
in your channel is recording.
I'm telling you. Skip 17 minutes in.
I can do Christopher.
Oh god, here we go.
If you're at the Republic Summit, you remember this.
User in your channel is recording.
Okay, my chat box keeps disappearing. Like my fucking.
Get better internet death. You know it must be done.
What the fuck are you doing here, Tyrants?
I can pop in anywhere.
God damn it.
Yeah, you
Much for 2 per guild.
group too.
Tyrants just gonna go with once.
Oh god.
Oh, Lorilla, look for Kendra with a weird A.
Did you get the Gabriel?
Yeah, I
doing
can't
the Yoda stuff?
I can't hear.
I didn't get the Yoda impression. That was way before I got the. But I did get his Phantom Menace one. The Phantom Menace scene he recreated. I got
I
that one.
skipped to 17. It's not doing anything yet.
17 minutes. It's the Picard impression.
So, are we just about done organizing? Are we going to talk about stuff?
We are going to talk about stuff.
Okay,
We're
'cause it's
trying
20
to get
after. It's getting late for people.
I would like
User in
us
your
to get
channel is
started.
recording.
Do remember there will be.
All right. Well,
if you miss anything.
I'll start with the beginning part.
Thank
I'm
goodness.
Decel. I'm Decel, otherwise known as Dez on Republic side. I'll be your moderator today again. What we're going to go over is pretty much every aspect of the game as much as we can, as long as time allots. How we're going to do this is why I have you in ops groups. Okay, everyone is going to vote on the topic that we're going to do. We're going to do this by numbers. So number 1, if you want to talk about that first, is RP. You'll type in 1 in your ops group. If you want to talk about PvP, type 2 in your ops group. If you want to talk about PvE, type 3. If you want to talk about Starfighter, type 4.
Isn't Starfighter PvP?
Apparently it's separate.
Really? Okay. I'd put it under PvP, but.
Wait, why are we putting up numbers?
Well, we have guilds that are only specific.
And as soon as we get everyone tallied in, we'll have the first topic.
Everyone talk about GSF, huh?
A lot of threes.
I don't understand the numbers here. I'm confused.
1 for RP, 2 for PvP, 3 for PvE, 4 for GSF.
Okay.
That was a loud echo.
Too bad there isn't like a voting option.
Echo.
We actually could just set up a straw poll if we needed to.
User in your channel is recording. User in your channel is recording. User in your
Depends
channel
on what
is
you want to
recording.
hang from that poll.
That alert would get annoying.
Dude,
after
we have a
while.
lot of people in here.
All right,
User
anyone who
left
does
your
not
channel.
anyone who does not have their guild tag and the character they are on
User
for
in
the
your
summit,
channel started recording.
Fix that now, please.
Jesus, 52 people up in here.
It's not 62. 10. We're missing 10 people to catch up the Republic.
Oy vey.
User disconnected from your channel.
Can I bring like the 8 people from my team speak?
Oh.
Nah, it won't be the same. It'll be breaking the law.
What are law?
Not the law, but like the rules that were established to the summit.
I could really break the rules and go grab all the JC people.
From my academies are keeping up just with chat, so they're not
I
actually.
bring up all my POC people, so.
Do the wall of death that Lamb of God does with these two big ass ops groups.
Some invite Lurilla, invite Bairesu.
Already did.
Virasu, whatever.
Sure.
User in your channel is recording.
Hope this tanked long. I gotta get off in a little bit and sleep. I got church tomorrow.
No worries.
We please.
You expecting this to last 20 minutes?
Please don't forget, you'll be able to come back to the summit if you miss. So are we ready?
We're getting those tallies in.
Yeah, where he's counting the votes.
We have had over 20 minutes to get people in the group.
I appreciate everyone's
User in your channel is recording.
patience. This is a process to make sure everyone can talk about what needs to be talked about. Just be patient. We will get to it. This is the same way we had to do it last time. This should be a lot faster than the first time, though.
Yeah, he's just counting the votes. Go on the subject.
I'm still here, Zai.
Yeah, I realized that right as you said it.
Okay, looks like RP is the first topic. One of the things that we talked about before was getting together, finding ideas for getting together open world RP and getting guilds together for RP. Looking at the notes real quick. We don't really have a whole lot on that. Well, we talked about it very briefly. We didn't have a whole lot of time for it. The next part is going to be a little more challenging. It'll probably take 5 to 7 more minutes to get everything
User in your channel is recording.
organized. Everyone that has something to talk about RP, we can do a /roll.
I think we can. I have an idea. Why don't we just go alphabetical order in the TeamSpeak channel? Just go down.
Or just go top to bottom?
Yeah, top to bottom. Why not? The next topic, we can go bottom to top.
Actually, I think I'm going to go bottom to top the first. All right, so anyone that has
User
something to
disconnected
say
from your
about
channel.
something to say about RP and getting that together as a server, start now with Xenon from Vengeful. You can, if you don't have a mic, you can type that into the Imperial Summit chat. Go now.
He says pass.
Okay. Cult of Anarchy, Uliana.
Nothing to discuss.
Terrence, Zenovian.
Pass.
Tour, Jaak.
Tower or car?
Tower from Jaak.
It's Tor from Jack.
Tour. Jack. Okay, sorry.
We're not an RP guild, so but we're in
Okay.
the server.
Okay, pass.
Cirrus, Deadly Obsession.
Pass.
Shamsmi, Ancient Order of the Sith.
Alright, so I have an idea, so I was wondering, I wanted to pass it along to you guys to see what you thought about it, and so obviously I don't know if this is the best idea or not, but it was an idea where the Republic finally struck back against the Empire, and they destroyed Viking space dock, and after many of the guild strongholds and flagships had been destroyed in an ensuing battle, guilds joined up together in clans type of thing, in types of clans, but they weren't really like clans necessarily, but like groups, and they stuck together just trying to make sure that their own specific group survived. And they were spread out all across the galaxy, some in the Outer Rim, some in the known territories, some in the Hut space.
That sounds promising.
It sounds like a good idea. That's actually kind of somewhat similar.
It's a solid plot. It's just a matter of how you're going to get everyone together.
Yeah.
That also involves a very sharp divergence from the storyline the game's presenting.
True.
If you have questions or comments talking about that topic that he just brought up, raise your hand. We'll get into order.
I'm gonna go ahead and raise my hand.
Go ahead.
User in your channel is recording.
Can we, just a suggestion, if we could stray away from specific RP event proposals and speak, more about how we're gonna fix the lack of open world RP on the server, I feel like that would be a bit more productive than bringing up, I feel like we should do this exact RP arc or this RP event.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Not saying there was anything wrong with your proposal, it's just, we got all of us here and, we have a lot of power in this room to fix things.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll keep it to keep the open world stuff. Try and keep it less specific to any kind of arcs. A lot of guilds are going to have their own specific arcs that they're going to be following anyway. We can pull that when we go to the site that we're retooling. We'll go to the next person then.
User in your channel is recording.
Scrake, Midnight Eclipse. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Nah, you did it right. I got nothing to say. Pass.
Zaxxus, Imperial Legion.
Yeah, I'll pass too.
Syra, Shade Spec Force.
Pass.
Saberlane.
I just have a comment more than anything. I think that the way to improve the open world RP is to use less of the strongholds.
User disconnected from your channel. User in your channel is recording.
Strongholds are nice and all, but they kind of have detracted from the random aspect of stumbling into a scene of RP. That's really all I have to say.
Sorry, I missed a few raised hands. Gil, and then Rattlehead.
So, I'm from Legion of Death here. How you actually fix open world PvP is not by creating a specific story. The cool thing about open world PvP is even if you're not a roleplay, even if you're not an open, even if you're not a roleplay guild, you can find it. Open world roleplay can start on anything. It can be about a fight. There's roleplay fighting for those who are that like PvP. Roleplay fighting would kind of go towards your suit, but it all depends. It just requires people to actually act upon it. It requires someone to start it. We can talk all day long of, hey, this is how we fix it, but until someone actually goes on the fleet or somewhere where there's a lot of people and starts role playing, no one will be gathered to it. And that is how I believe that is one way to fix it. But
do that sometime.
that's just
User
my
in your channel is
little
recording.
blurb.
Then we had Rattlehead.
As far as thinking that having RP events in strongholds is causing problems, if you just go to the guild directory, if people have their guilds open, you can just bounce around from, or not the guild directory, but stronghold directories. You can just bounce around and look around and see what's going on in each one. Just look for how many people are in there, and if there's a lot of people, you can guess there's something happening.
My response to that would be that most, even public strongholds, are owned by organizations in character, and most people have no reason to go to said organizations unless they have a previous interaction.
I will let you know now. If you walk in my guild stronghold, we have no clue who you are. You're not an ally. You're not anything. You will probably be swarmed. Just little blooper.
But that if it's unlocked and open for anybody to go to,
sounds a bit
that's
harsh.
problem.
Yeah.
Not sworn per se, but you'll be asked like, welcome to our abode. How may we assist you? But you'll find that a lot of people will be there.
I don't think it's too harsh. I think it works.
Yeah, okay. Now I get what he's saying. All right. I completely agree with him on
You
that.
walk into someone's place, you announce yourself, and you say what you were there for. You would expect 6 to 12 people, of course, to be in front of you.
All right, we had. Is that all the raised hands? We got.
No.
And Delore.
That's me. That's Sai.
Okay.
Just on, y'all said a lot about strongholds, and I feel like a lot more guilds could open theirs up to the public. I know my Imperial Guild strongholds are both open to the public, and I feel like
User in your channel.
Someone mentioned let's not RP as much in the strongholds, and personally, I didn't spend millions upon millions of credits on a stronghold and a flagship to not use them, and I feel like a lot of other guild guild masters would agree with that.
Agreed.
So, I feel like a lot more guilds need to just open up to the public and, deal with that. Especially when your officers have the ability, if they have keys, to remove someone who's, being troublesome from the stronghold. Even go as far as ban them from the stronghold.
Agreed.
Alia or Ayla?
Yeah, I think that it would be great to increase open world roleplay as a thing, but I do think that we've spent all this money and time, some of it real money, to make these things look awesome. So perhaps we can get a way to put these awesome things in front of people. And perhaps should we have like an directory like on this website that we're putting together or something like that?
That hungry?
Sorry, say the last part that you said. I lost it. Can you repeat the last part that you said about the website?
We're working with that website, right? And they've kind of got a guild directory, so maybe making that more of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who are we on right now?
User in your
Not a bad
channel is
idea.
recording.
Agreed, that's a good idea. We do spend a lot of money working on our strongholds, working on our ships, making them look nice.
Okay,
Sorry.
Death Slayer.
Okay, so on the topic, because we have two different opinions right now. Is that, we should not use strongholds as much, and that the other side is that we've paid for them, so we should use them. What my guild does a lot is both in the same session we'll go back and forth between the two. We've had times where we start on our flagship and the ideas were on the flagship, and we go down to a planet, and if we're on the planet and we meet people and we talk to these people, and this happened before, we talk to these people and they seem like cool people, and we'll be like, hey, come finish this with us, come back to our flagship or come back to our stronghold with us and finish this this role play, I guess you call it session or experience, whatever you want to call it. But we go back and forth between strongholds and open planet, and we've brought people back into the strongholds with us. Of course, if they want to, it's not like, oh, you have to come with us. No, we invite them back to come with us. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, continue the RP in your ship.
Yeah.
I like to go from like.
All right, Ransom.
All right, so kind of same topic, but kind of not. We're all talking about the stronghold issue here. I think a real solution to this could be just the fact that
User in your channel
we all
timed
drop
out.
the idea that we RP in strongholds. It's going to happen. People are going to do it anyway. They do it on their own time.
User in your
But
channel is recording.
let's say we did something like we did with this summit here, where we organize something a week in advance and say, hey, how about we all go hang out on Yavin for, at this time of day, and you guys can all show up, we'll RP, and you guys can go your separate ways back into your own guild's RP. I mean,
Yeah.
we were able to organize this. I don't think it'd be any harder to organize something like that.
That's a really good point that he's making, because it's kind of like we're going to have to schedule something monthly to be able to get everybody involved and get together.
Yeah, and people don't know other people's schedules, so they have to work around that as well if they have jobs or anything like that.
Well, and another thing that ties into something that Duff said in this,
User in
is
your
that
channel is recording.
you also consider that when we have such a high amount of people RPing at the same time, there's going to be contradiction over time. Two people trying to speak at once. The story splits two different ways with what they have said. I mean, we're going to run into a lot of contradiction. So the whole idea of people getting together in general is going to be kind of difficult.
Can I add something real quick to that? It's like just a quick statement. Actually, no, I'll save it because it's going to be an entirely different conversation.
There's actually a solution that'll be coming up in a minute after we get through the raise hands.
It's not like everyone has to be there at those events. Just whoever can make it from your guild can make it. Not necessarily speak to GMs.
True, and you could always change up the times or have two different events.
Calendar's pretty full.
Caden.
Okay, can people hear me okay, or should I type this all out?
Oh, no, we got it.
There we go. So the general idea that we thought about is we're all here. We have a whole lot of guilds here. What if we basically nominate and go through and ask, and we create basically a guild council for the server, like 10 guilds or so that are in charge of the server's RP, and what they can do is they can try to reach other guilds and make their RP more.
I'm gonna interrupt that real quick.
Yes.
It's been advised not to step on anyone's toes for their own personal RPs. I know there's plenty of.
Saying that.
Well, you wouldn't be able to have those people run what the RP is going to be. We've seen.
Necessarily mean run as in tell others what to do. I basically mean 10 guilds or so that create the opportunities. They work with different guilds, or they reach out to guilds, or they schedule on the forums, like Ranson was saying, different events in public areas, or a theme for an area
User
at
in
a
your
time.
channel timed out.
Not as much telling people what to do as much as creating opportunities that other guilds can take a part on. But if you spread it out among multiple guilds, if multiple guilds would be willing to step up to that, even if one guild can't do it, or a couple guilds can't do it, you still have the other guilds. I mean, we have a lot of people
User
here.
in your channel is recording.
Manpower to work, and it wouldn't have to be everyone always constantly trying to figure out some new theme, because there'd be tons and tons of people working on it.
I like the idea.
Alright, we had Nass raise his hand again.
I wanted to comment on the idea of strongholds being publicly listed and such. That doesn't exactly work for many, I would argue, most people, especially with how they're implemented at the moment. For example, if someone goes onto your flagship, they get dropped out onto the bridge, not the hangar or an airlock or something like that. The same goes for strongholds. Not to mention, a lot of us aren't exactly, outgoing people. Sith wouldn't want another Sith to walk up to their gate that they're not, in a powwow with. It's not exactly a friendly environment, the galaxy.
Well, the thing about that is, if you think about it, that's perfectly okay, because if you go there and you're not welcome there, then you're not welcome there and you'll know it. So if you do open a stronghold, let's say someone that you're not friendly with does come in there, it's gonna be him versus 12 other people in the same room. They're not gonna have much of a choice.
And you also have the
stronghold too.
Yeah, you have the ability to literally kick them from your stronghold if you just if it's someone you just don't want there at all, rather than someone that you just don't get along with.
Isn't that just completely immersion break when you have someone drop into the middle of your scene you're having on the bridge, for example, not where someone would be able to drop into? That is to me.
Well, you see, my question is, why the hell would you have your stronghold or flagship unlocked if you didn't want anybody in the first place?
Yeah, you don't have to unlock it.
That's true, damn right. See, me, like the Brotherhood, we don't like people in our shit. That's our place. If somebody comes there, if I have it unlocked, no matter what, we're not gonna just straight swarm them. We're just gonna ask why they're there. If they're not there good for a good reason, we're just gonna kick them. But we are most likely not gonna have it unlocked for people to even be caught in that situation.
And also added on to that, if it is unlocked, then and they do come there and they're not welcome there, that also gives you another. You might think it could be immersion breaking, but in my mind, that just gives more content to your roleplay, because suddenly there's this guy that runs it that's not welcome there. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, how the hell did you get here? How'd you get on?
Well, you're sitting in a flagship out in the middle of deep space, for example. How is one guy going to show up without, showing up on sensors, etc.?
Well, then you
literally be, what the fuck is going on?
You could argue that he was stowed away before anything has to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. I was stowed away before it went off, or I've been hiding here, or heck, if it's over a planet, not just somewhere random. If it's over a planet, just be like, fuck, I just hijacked your ship.
Grease teleportation.
Or you might just have to fire someone.
Yeah,
for not doing the job.
And if you are RPing out, out in the middle of deep space, just don't have your flagship unlocked, and boom, you're out in the middle of deep space. Nobody can get to you.
User disconnected from your channel.
Unless they have your permission.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like we're straying away from the
User in your channel is recording.
I just feel like that.
So we're still on the stronghold spot
around the planets and find people role playing. Find people doing something you want to engage in. You have to literally go looking. You're not going to wander and find people.
We had Baratus from Domination raise hand.
Yes. Are you ready?
Is it stronghold issue?
Yes.
For RP. Okay.
Yes. I was going to comment that as the GMs, as far as the guild, as far as the server is concerned, anything that happens that's interesting, it comes from us. It comes from the GMs, the officers, for the most part. That being said, our influence goes a long way. If we were to influence and say, hey, all this RP is going on in strongholds, let's change that. All we have to do is implement that. And I have a suggestion based on that, is if we do a slight, a simple suggestion, more of a suggestion, less of a implementation when your guild does do RP, or when you and some friends are RPing. You know, just try to create more of an outgoing attitude. Say we start on a flagship, we start on our stronghold, we're hanging out on Nar Shaddaa. That's awesome. But have a moment where it's like, okay, we've done our stuff on our stronghold. Let's go to Voss, right? In my opinion, Voss is an incredible place to go RP. You've got all the ruins, you've got all this stuff going on. It's pretty fantastic, and I just want to encourage everyone. You know, let's get our guys out there. You start out on your stronghold, sure, that's great, but go somewhere. Go and do something. The sites are incredible. We're right here in Manon. This is an incredible location. There's a whole lot of lore associated with it. Read up on the lore. You know, find a reason to go there. It's fantastic and definitely worth looking into. I just wanted to encourage everyone, if all of us individually within our own guilds went and did that sort of encouragement, that sort of outgoingness, that there would be a huge impact on RP. People would see RP groups while they're doing PvE and be like, oh, cool, what is RP? I have no idea. I just started this game yesterday. And so that's about all I had to say.
Crimzonis, who had a raised hand. We're having a lot of raised hands here, jeez.
I said I dropped my hand later on.
Okay.
My question was answered, so we're good.
Zai, you had one after that?
I'm gonna go ahead and retract that. I'll get to that later.
Okay. Ransom, raise hand again.
Alright,
Is it on strongholds?
Tangent a little bit?
Well, if you want to do a tangent off of the stronghold issue with RP, we'll wait till your turn.
Alright.
Okay. I don't know how to say this one. Living drama free. Starts with an R.
Refedin.
Fedin.
That's the one. I can't see if he's typing.
He said he is
AFK.
Okay. Phantom Legion. Milk.
Malkelt.
Malkelt. There we go. That's the one.
Who?
Malkelt.
But we were on Ogos.
I sent you a whisper, Des.
Oh, he said he's talking in the gathering chat.
Yeah, he doesn't have mic for TS, so.
You can type in the guild summit would be preferable.
Why did I get skipped?
So I can catch it. Did I skip you, September? I'm way up on the list here.
Kinda did skip me.
Wow, that's a big message.
Alright.
Does someone who can see it want to read it?
You want me to read it? What he's typing in TS?
That'd be great.
We were talking about the guild council and RP, but we don't need a full story, just a scenario. Most scenarios can be about impeding the guild story / quick, easy can be 2 hours or a few weeks. Skipped me.
That's interesting.
Was it my turn now?
Go ahead. There's so many raised hands. It's just.
Okay, so
go ahead.
We've making a website, you guys. So be able to organize.
You're cutting out there, September.
Wi-Fi out. Started implementing a website on the Summit pub side, and it's going to be making things a lot easier for everyone to get together and build. It already is
User
pretty.
disconnected from your channel.
So being able to like just RP with randoms, that's fun and easy. I like doing that all the time, even after I've done it to a few of you and I just start RPing with. So that and why we have to restrain ourselves to not.
You're cutting out a lot, Stremba.
I think that. Can I hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that strongholds are good and everything, but I don't see like why everyone's like so against them. Granted, I get it if you're just trying to do like guild meetings and stuff like that. That's understandable. Go ahead, do your privacy thing. If you want to do like massive RP events like I've done on pub side before, just go to the fleet or go to chorus and hey, anybody want to roleplay? You surprised who will like turn up for you on. Might end up even guild at that point. You got to get your foot out there. You can't just. You got to kind of make yourself available, you know. I'm just saying, like, you know, restraining yourself to your guild. Oh, I like these group of people. I don't want to talk to anybody else. It's not cool because none of us are gonna like play this game.
Okay.
Drop off by then anyway.
I think the next person is Rixbo.
I can, I mean, it's kind of part to do with strongholds, part to do with open world, so I can either wait till we go back to my turn, or it's kind of straying away from the stronghold topic. So it's up to you if you want me to wait till that.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
We're trying to get through all these so we can get back to the actual turn orders. I think Nemrit. Did you have a raised hand for the stronghold issue? Okay. I think that is all the raised hands at this point. We can go.
User in your channel timed
Okay,
out.
Actually, I had my raised hand raised, but I was never called.
I thought you revoked that as well.
Hey, can I just say
revoked it,
one
but then I
quick
put in
thing?
another one.
Any of you guys on ImpSide are Photoshop worthy, web design coding worthy?
User
Yeah, why?
disconnected from your channel.
Making a community portal for the.
You're breaking up, Trimba.
We're
Trevor, if you
making
want me to speak for you, let me know.
making a portal that's going to be server wide for all the guilds to like mix together. So if you guys are good at Photoshop or coding on web design, just as a message.
User in your channel is recording.
Coding would take a little bit.
Well, yeah, I know. We're only on the layout right now. We're not even touching the code yet.
I thought we were utilizing stuff that's been built already.
Yeah,
we are,
but
it is being adapted.
And making it more user friendly.
Oh, okay.
What are you using to build it?
This is an
That's getting off
FTP
topic.
All
protocol.
right.
Caden.
So, Jazia brought up an issue about the whole strongholds versus open server debate that you guys were talking over in the strongholds comments. And so, mainly, she said, and a lot of us agree with her over in Shades, that a lot of people go to strongholds because of a couple things. Number one, the chat range. It's too huge. People end up spamming it. In the say chat, it has troubles at times. Number two, and a big one, is trolls making public RP impossible at sometimes. A lot of people just go to their strongholds just to get some peace and quiet away from all the random naked people dancing around them. And number three, the lack of normal emotes, like simple crossing arms. Strongholds are mainly a result of trollish behavior, and a lot of people that really shouldn't even be on an RP server messing with people while they're trying to RP. So while I personally agree that server RP and open world is awesome, and there are some amazing locations. I also agree with like we were saying that strongholds has really just become the result of RP because of current events on the server of how people are handling it.
It's not really a bad idea. That sounds great, actually. But how would we deal with it?
Ignore them.
The only way to deal with the troll is just pretty much ignore them. If you let the troll ruin your roleplay, you're pretty much giving them the power. You're giving the power to them to continue. The only thing you can do is ignore them and pretend they're not there. If they're spamming, just slap and ignore on them. It's really all you can do, because the more you respond to them, the more they keep doing it. If you just ignore them, they get bored and they go away.
Right, don't feed the trolls.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I myself am a troll sometimes. Like, I mark me as a troll, and if someone's not responding to me, I'm usually gonna get bored and just stop doing it.
Spoken like a true troll.
Arenia.
This is coming from the mouth of a true troll. So.
Truth.
It takes one to know one, yeah.
Arenia's next. For the raised hands.
Someone's got to read it out.
Best way to get RP out of strongholds is massive events organized with multiple guilds.
Like the Euphoria events.
User in your channel timed out.
I don't think the object's to get RP out of strongholds, so there's RP out in the world rather than only in strongholds.
Yeah,
exactly.
Another problem with the events is, like what I've noticed with the Euphoria event,
User in your channel is recording.
Is usually it just turns into a bunch of people either like stripping in the middle of the fucking Nar Shaddaa, or it just ends up getting boring and everyone leaves. So there has to be a way to keep interest there during an event, because I know I've been to one of those events, and I'm 10 minutes in, and all the fun stuff, all the the costume contests and stuff are at the end. And at the beginning, where it's just a social hangout, that social hangout eventually just gets boring, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are we here for?" And they end up leaving.
That's why we gotta have
User in your
plot.
channel is recording.
Yeah. So you come up with things like, I think one of my most memorable, I mean, I guess you could call it an RP event, but were any of you guys around back when the boss PvP stuff was being hosted, where it was roleplay, but it was about taking.
I was around.
It was about like the Republic versus the Empire, and you were taking the Shrine of Healing, or whoever took it from the week before. And it wasn't, it was a mix of PvP and roleplay, and the reason it kept people interested
from your channel.
was because there was something going on the entire time.
Well, creating war situations like that allows people just to jump right in. It immerses people a lot more than standing.
What kind of image were you thinking of, Arenia?
User in your channel is recording.
Have you guys ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Flashy, expensive, and complex.
That's not necessarily true. That's completely untrue. That is completely untrue.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with this.
I mean, I mean, if you want to talk about expensive and flashy, some of my my most memorable and largest experiences with roleplay have been on fucking Korriban.
Yeah, honestly, Korriban RPs are really fun.
So it's not. You shouldn't have the mindset that flashy and expensive is good. It should be interesting, and because if it's flashy and expensive, you draw the trolls and you draw the people that.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just do it.
The
being
mindset that
simple.
big crowds are desirable.
Like, you could just have a simple role play. You don't really actually need flashy things.
If you want to talk about an RP image, the RP image should be, it should be more of a story-driven. It should be what roleplay is: story-driven and entertaining, not flashy and
Well, inclusive, not flashy.
Yeah. I mean, like, look at a Michael Bay movie. It looks really nice, but all it is full of explosions.
Yeah.
So.
I think Saberlane had a raised hand.
I did. Can you hear me all right? Just checking.
Yes.
All right. So back on the subject of saying, you pour a lot of money into your strongholds, you should use them. While I do agree with that, I would also say, what good is splitting an already limited population between 24 different instances or more?
User in your channel is recording.
If anyone remembers back, there used to be random RP you could find in various places different nights. I remember there was a event that happened at the slopes that was completely random. It was just every Saturday night people showed up on Nar Shaddaa and started RPing. It's not an issue of guild. It's not an issue of what we can, it's an issue of what the individual has to do. We as individuals have to show up and have to go out and look for RP in different places, rather than putting our trust in, we can solve this if we put enough funds or if we put enough, guild effort towards it. This isn't something that, The thing is, it's not so much that we need events, that we just need people to go places to do things on regular nights. I say we encourage the use of the Imperial OC and Republic OC channels more. We call out when we're going to do something. Say you're going to go to Nar Shaddaa looking for RP. You call it out in Imperial OC a few times. See who shows up.
Imperial OC used to be a huge tool back in the day when the server was just native.
Agreed. It was literally the only tool to get RP together, and it worked. But now, Imperial OC, the channel, in-game.
I don't agree with the public events.
Why not?
Well, I mean, some guilds, yeah, they do the public events or whatever, and then some like to keep to themselves sometimes. I mean, public events would be good, but will there be a lot of people like show up to it? Will they join in? I mean, some really just want to stay to themselves sometimes.
It's not a requirement.
Then they're not. I was going to say they're not going to be.
What's the purpose of this whole thing?
We're not sitting here saying you have to go to them. You're bad. No, I mean it's a way to get more people interested.
Well, the other thing is, once again, who says when you show up there you can't split off and do your own thing? So I mean, even if you don't want to be in that situation, you can always join up with somebody and say, "Hey, I'm just going to RP with you, but I'm going to be part of us." You don't have to talk to everyone there. Let's say it's a huge battlefield. You don't have all the commanders talking to each other. In fact, half the people don't even meet the other side of the battlefield. They don't even know they're there. So, I mean, you don't need to expand to everyone to include everyone.
All right, so far we've gone over.
User disconnected from your channel.
There's people that want to use their strongholds as a valuable tool for RP. They want to be able to involve other people, or they want to be able to push people away. We have the website that was mentioned earlier in the chat. We can post that up again for organizing those types of things. Is there something else new to add to this discussion? Okay, Virasu.
It is Virusu, and hello everybody. I'm Virusu from Top Roll Asuna, and well, I just want to say that well, Deathswayer said something in the chat in game about, and somebody had mentioned earlier about a council. I personally think a council is a horrible idea. People get jealous because somebody's on the council. We can't really judge people and say you can't be on this council because of this and this. It causes issues. But Deathswayer said a really great idea that we keep together and we post all of our RP ideas on that Bergeren colony site. Because bringing together 80 people in an RP event, it is really hard to get good in-depth RP where everybody is satisfied if we're all just going to be contradicting each other, like was also mentioned earlier. It's basically going to just screw us all up if there's 100 people trying to do the same thing in the same area. And whoever said about walking off and splitting up and doing your own thing, that's a good idea. But I think massive events like that, like one whole event consisting of that many people all following the same exact thing, would just lead into ruin. It would be really, really bad.
I think that goes into Ranson's idea to where if you have one big event, not everyone has to be interacting. You have smaller groups within that big event, just with concept of ideas. If there's
most RP is icebreaker background anyway.
Quick question: What is the use for the website? Is it just for RP? Or is it for server? Anything you want to do on the server?
Okay, well, what we're doing, which we'll cover more a little bit later, is we are revamping it so it is available for all aspects of the game.
Okay, thank you.
That's the best way to say it.
Okay, we had a raised hand from Shamsi.
Hey,
Or
Des, before we get to a raised hand, I need to go. Rayana is my alternate. I'm going to leave Rayana to speak in my stead. I have some stuff I have to do.
No problem, man.
Wait, were we talking about me, Shasmi, or were we talking about something else that had this close name to mine?
User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from
You
your
rock.
channel.
All right. So one of the things that Michael does, because spreading it and advertising to other people out in the open is one way to bring people in. But one thing that you also need is sometimes good ideas to start the RP. And so one thing that Michael does a lot is, I think, probably about every 3 or 4 days we hold meetings, everybody throws out ideas, and then what we do is we get a list of the ideas, and then people vote on which one we want to do, and which ones have the most votes, we go with it. That one.
So what are you trying to talk about? Are you talking about how to?
I'm talking about, it was kind of back to the subject of getting people out in the open RPing instead of out of their strongholds. And then I said sometimes you need good ideas to bring the people that are out in the open to the RPs, because sometimes you need the I can't think of the word. Oh my god.
I don't know, the times that I've had people, the most people that were out of my guild come into my RP was actually when we were in the middle of events that they had no idea about. Take for example, let's say you're, trying to find, the villain of your RP, and you're trying to find them on the planet of Tatooine. And you're exploring, and you're all talking, and you're all having, whatever dramatic role play. And these people that are just walking around, they might have just been leveling. I've had people that were just leveling join in. And they're just leveling, and they say, "Oh, this is interesting. I'm gonna kind of, follow them." So they follow you, and talk to them, and you bring them along and say, "Look, this is a dangerous situation. You want to come? Are you sure you want to come along?" And if they, if they want to roleplay, they'll be like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go." So most of the time to bring people, your bring people in, and you make sure you're interesting. It's not necessarily about, already tried to say you need flashy stuff. You need to have an interesting story. Because I've had people join in on RP that have never RP'd before because it looked interesting to them.
User in your channel timed
Yeah,
out.
exactly. I mean, we've been going in circles, like Cage said, we've been going in circles because...
Alright, so...
We should move topic. Get on the strong points and discuss them maybe later.
Yeah, can we go to PvE or something, or whatever was the next voted?
Let me
There's
grab
also
the
an
number.
RP thing that people want to do later this month.
I did have something I wanted to add before we left the RP topic.
Okay.
As far as the technical issues behind it goes, this is the first summit I've been to, but has it been discussed how these RPs will actually be planned? Because if not, then at least as I know from my guild, I have an officer dedicated to creating RPs for my guild, and if the officers who are dedicated to creating those RPs had their own kind of summit to go to and discuss things, then those officers could
at the behest of their guild masters, create RPs server-wide for the guilds.
Right, the website's going to have a section for all of that as well. More than welcome to make.
In terms of organizing anything, regardless of what aspect of the game, you can always refer to that website. So everybody save that link. It's going to be usable for everything in terms of organizing for this server.
May I speak real quick? If we're good, if we're on time or need to go to something else, that's fine.
Go ahead, quick. Is it on the same?
Yeah, it's on RP. We seem to, like I said, be mostly going in circles. I don't know per se, other than ideas or better understandings of those circles, what we've truly accomplished with the RP, other than go to this website. Just tossing it out one more time, did we want to debate or even put on a section on that website that you guys about, like, I don't know, a number like 10, 15, it doesn't matter, but a number of guilds that are basically pushing to try to create opportunities and events for, or themes or whatever, be it on their strongholds, their open world, whatever the personal preference is. Or will things be planned on that website? We gone on circles a lot with this, and while I definitely understand the circles we've been going through, it doesn't seem like we've actually done or decided on anything for this. So,
Well, RP is kind of a hard thing to create a decision about in general, because everyone has their own specific ones. Each guild, like every guild, has their members that prefer specific ones. So creating one that would be universal for all the guilds in the server would be a fucking pain in the ass.
Not only that, but the top
website
itself
is
is
being
valuable.
used as a portal for the guilds to get together and plan these events.
Well, I
Assuming
guess
the
my
best place to
question is-
communicate would be on the website through a forum section, and if both parties agreed on a date and a time, we can throw it on the calendar.
I guess my question to you is, why can't we have both? Why can't we, as individual guilds, post up, hey, we're doing this today, hey, we're doing this tomorrow, and just say, if you'd like to join us, come join us, and if you don't want people there, don't invite them. Don't post it.
That's what I was saying.
Fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's how things work now.
Well, it's also the idea of bringing all the guilds together, or having like it open for all guilds to join for RP is good and all, but if you have it open in general to saying like you can join, like, you know, it's open for you to join. Well, come and join if you want to, and you can RP with the other guilds. But if you just had an open discussion on the website for guilds to basically be like, ooh, this is a cool idea, do you want to help me out with this idea? Okay, I'll help you out with this idea. So you'll have 2 or 3 guilds work on an arc that will involve their 3 guilds, and then, you know, another 1 or 2 guilds will be doing that kind of stuff over there. So not all the guilds have to be RPing together at all the time in order to have a server-wide RP. You can have like 3 guilds work on one story arc, another 3 guilds work on another story arc that meets in the middle and involves another 2 guilds, kind of thing.
All you gotta do is get on this website, go to the forum, say, hey, we want to do an RP event. Put a random date, August 3rd.
Yeah.
Up on this, you know, reply to this post and...
Another part of this is... let me interject here real quick. This will solve a lot of that. There is going to be a summit that is going to be specifically only for RP and working out these kind of issues. Caden, you're actually running that one, so...
Am I? Interesting. Great.
That was my understanding on the website.
I also have one last point that I was thinking about earlier to do with the strongholds of the RPs. I know that was a while back, but if the issue is people are having trouble thinking of why they would open up their strongholds and their ships to other people, you could ask your officers or your GMs to release their personal strongholds for server-wide RP. So it does not directly affect your guild, That way your guild has the option to join if they want to. So it's pretty much, if you go to this stronghold, you are accepting that there will be people there that are not in the guild that you will RP with if they are there. And some of them you may not get along with, some of them you may get along with. But this is going to be basically an open playing ground. So, if if I have a stronghold that I've decorated and I've completely unlocked, but I don't do anything with, I would list it so that every guild could access it. And they could all do they could all do whatever personal RPs they want to do in there, except every RP guild in the server has access to it.
That sounds like an amazing idea.
So basically, you're saying balance it out.
Yeah. So don't open
I
your
agree.
personal, don't open your guild stronghold to it, because the guild stronghold is a safe haven. It's where people get away from trolls. It's where they want peace and quiet. They only want to deal with the people they know. You open a personal stronghold that you have decorated yourself to everybody. So then, people from Guild A can go there, and people from Guild B and C and D are already there, and then they all RP together. And if you don't want to RP with them anymore, or they've pissed you off or whatever, you can always go back to your guild stronghold.
That's an amazing idea. I love it.
Yeah, I like that too.
I actually want to add something on just to that real quick. It's just a real quick statement. If something like that does happen, Guild A, B, C are all in the same stronghold, and they're all RPing, and if it's a hostile RP, you guys are, it's like, oh, this is better than you. Please don't take your in-character hate out of character. That is the most annoying thing for me, is when I'm role-playing, and I will completely dog people at times, even out of character. But if it's in character, I'll do it. And if those people take it out of character, especially if I've made it clear that it's in RP, then it just gets frustrating, because that's just how my character would talk.
User
we
in
can
your
set
channel
up,
is recording.
Hold on, guys. We can set up rules for this kind of interaction.
User
Again, that would
left
be
your
another
channel.
thing we can use for a forum-based thing to set up rules so everybody can see what the rules are. If you're going to this person's stronghold for RP, this is what is expected of you. Is that acceptable? Any naysayers say no.
I think having a few rules is actually a good idea, because then you're not going to have someone go in and try and ruin everything.
All right. Is there any other new ideas for the RP that doesn't have anything to do with what we just accepted?
I would say something, but I just got here, so I don't know what has been talked about.
I have nothing on it.
Dude, was that very white?
Guys. All right, we talked about going to the new BergerenColony.org website. Crimzona, see if you could pop that up for me again.
Sure.
That is going to be the hub website for
Actually, someone else got it.
everything you need on the server. Everything. That is going to be effective within the next few weeks. We talked about setting up rules in the forums for strongholds, specific ones. If you want to go to a specific person's stronghold, follow those rules, get kicked out of it. Follow those rules, you get kicked out of it.
That seems obvious, though.
Right.
I'm pretty sure everyone here already does that, right? Like you're respectful of other people's strongholds.
The point is the communication of the rules versus the implication of them.
And we're
right.
also GMs and officers.
Well, the question I would like to ask is, when you say rules, are these community-made rules, or is this a set of rules that the people who brought this gathering together are posting, and if they want to be involved, these are the list of rules they must abide by?
I'm talking about, so if your personal stronghold is brought up,
User
you're
in
putting
your
it
channel
up
is
to everybody.
recording.
You set the rules for if someone wants to come to your stronghold. That's what I'm talking about. Entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, your stronghold, your rules.
Well, yeah, but I don't say
Don't
don't make the rules super restrictive. Just make it stuff like do not derail an RP. Just for no trolling. Don't derail an RP that's currently going on, and don't and then just general RP rules of no god modding, no being a dick and trying to fuck the RP up just for shits.
And being respectful to the RP that's already established there. So is there anything else that is new to the things that we haven't talked about?
Yes, I don't know if this was brought up, but since we have a lot of RP people here and people who love RP and are serious about it, I was wondering if we could have some kind of group effort to report trolls and people who interrupt RP and who do come
User
and
disconnected from your
destroy
channel.
public RP.
I
Maybe
got
pick
something for
out
that.
names and have multiple reports.
I've got something for that.
User in your channel stopped recording.
We have a channel that's made up. Crimsonus, if you can throw that GM channel up. Okay. If there is a problem person, bring it up to the GM channel. It will get passed around, disseminated, and they'll be taken care of. That is going to be for all aspects of the game. All right.
Are we still throwing out some ideas?
Is it different from everything that we've talked about already?
It sounds different in my head, so just tell me to shut up if it isn't.
Okay, quick.
Pretty much.
User in your channel is recording.
What I've noticed is a big turnoff for people RPing with other guilds is the lore that is established between the different guilds. What I think would be cool, it doesn't have to be decided right away, this is just an idea that we can throw out, is that there is a loose, not a very restricted, but there's a loose, at least somewhat guideline lore for the server so that, I can't go take me and, let's say I go over to Virasu's guild and, in mine, Voss is taken over by the Empire, and in his guild arc, it's taken over by the Republic. That's just gonna be like, what the fuck just went on?
That's my problem too.
Well, we should generally stick to the game's lore, I think.
Well, what happens there is, as you said, every guild is going to have their own personal lore, what has happened as far as their guild is concerned. If you want to have an RP between different guilds that run smoothly, then you are not going to bring it up. No RP between two guilds is going to be a story arc RP for the guild unless it is previously discussed, in which case it is just going to be personal between characters, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of just shit thrown around and people having pissing contests of
Okay.
story is better.
Yeah.
So what you're saying right now is the guilds that are involved, their GMs or whoever's in charge of that RP is going to come up with the rules of engagement for that RP. Now, say it one more time.
I have a quick question.
User
to follow up on
disconnected
this.
from your channel. User in your channel is recording.
I've heard the word lore mentioned a couple of times. Now my guild is kind of different in that we incorporate the lore and we try to follow what is in the game and what has happened, but we also kind of have our own extended universe and things that might not particularly pertain very much to the lore. So I'm wondering how that will conflict with the styles of other guilds who are extremely lore heavy.
Well, my 2 cents here would be, since every guild is different, and if they're not your guild, be respectful and respect that other people will have different lore for their guild, and don't trash it.
Of course.
My made-up lore falls in line with the game's lore, even though my guild still has their own lore. Still is managing the actual lore.
But again, this comes back down to the GMs that are going to participate, communicating beforehand, and this is continuing to roll around the same thing again.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I guess we're done with RP. The next topic was PvP. We did come up with a lot of things at the Republic Summit. So I'm going to go over those right now. Anything that is different from these, you may talk about. If it's the same thing, I'm going to cut you off. We talked about holding server tournaments, massive server tournaments with a bracket style thing, bringing cash to the pot for the tournament. Lorilla, can you keep track of any raised hands or comments that are happening? So I'm looking at the notes right now. Thank you. Also, on that note, creating a league to host those tournaments and disseminate whatever prize money to whoever wins, whatever. Another option was to bring up Warzone's pops. Was to join /join Warzone. I didn't actually see a whole lot of action in that channel last week during the whole week while we were doing that, but our pops increased. We're talking about having guilds also share calendar events for PvP. Like, for example, Revis is going to have PvP from this time to this time on Saturday. Anyone else want to join us so we can have more pops? Get a bunch of people together for that. Let's see. We had Open World Wars. That kind of goes with the tournament style thing, but it's a little different. We talked about
User
offering.
disconnected from your channel.
Basically, talked about getting more people involved in the PvP stuff. Pre-mades not being guild exclusive, although that's always an option. Getting more people involved. It's we're having a problem with matchmaking to get people together. So if you have a few people that are outside of your pre-made that are waiting for PvP, grab some other people. We'll have some forums in the website for that to be discussed and planned out.
Let me say something real quick.
User in your channel is recording.
I like that. I think you're on the right path with that. But also, like with online things and forums and hubs and channels and things like that, a lot of people don't get involved in that in the guilds. What I'm wondering is, a lot of people who PvP, you will usually find them on Imperial
User in
Fleet.
your channel is
When we're
recording.
doing this organization for PvP and all that, what if we have a meeting place on Imperial or Pubside Fleet, whichever side is going to be doing that, a place where everyone can gather, then organize the PvP and talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to group, how we're going to queue, and all those things. And
This kind of thing isn't for everybody. It's for the GMs to keep in contact. You can obviously join up on the site. Anyone can see the events that'll be happening. That's going to be our major tool. GMs especially need to take that responsibility, or whoever their officer in charge of whatever aspect, to bring those events together if they want to do co-ops and such. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good idea, though, in my opinion. I agree with Gold.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay.
I mean, yes, communication between various guilds is always a good thing.
No
I'm just saying that like, I mean, I'm not the GM of my guild, but I handle most of the RP stuff, and the GM of our guild is also good for handling the PvP stuff. But a lot of the people who participate in the RP and PvP might not be so inclined to constantly check up on these sides.
That's not their job. That's their PvP officer. That's their person in charge that is supposed to take care of their own guild's events. The site is to help guilds work together and plan their events accordingly.
Are these mandatory?
I wouldn't say they're mandatory, but they are highly advised. It'd be very helpful for everyone to be able to see and look at them.
Just jump in and say, if you're here for furthering the progress of the server, it's not mandatory. But if you're not here to further the progress of the server, then I don't know. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
Well,
that's my 2 cents.
I get that, but here's the thing. Like I think this is, like I said, I think it's a good idea. I think everything that has been discussed is all cool and everything, but just to throw an example out there, just from the group assembled and the people assembled, what if you have people and guilds who don't really care for each other, but you want to try to have them all in the same group, yet there's going to be this conflict underneath everything between them.
I've got that. Right now, here, you guys being here says that you want to further the server. If you want to hold on to grudges, that's your business. But we're here to further the server's goals, further us as a server together.
Like, a lot of
That's
us are
all
here
I wanted to hear.
to further the server, you know? Like, that's why we're here, so we can make it more, you know, bring in more IPs.
Okay, so right here is the time where we start fresh. If you have problems after that, the GMs will talk together. We'll figure out a solution for the problem. That's how this is going to work.
I'm for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm for burying the hatchet. I'm all for it. Right now, right at this time, in this place.
All right. So the next part is actually leads into that, the causing of problems. Elitist attitudes. In war zones, they will stop. I'm telling you right now, this is how we are going to have this work. If we want more people to go into PvP, you cannot have an elitist attitude. You cannot say, "Oh, you fucking noob, stop being a dumbass." No, you need to teach them. Anyone that is new or not doing their appropriate job, they must be taught. That is the only way to make this server flourish.
Can I ask a question here about that?
First,
I want to say something on that, and that the fact, because a lot of people, like name people elitists just because they see someone trash talking someone on the fleet. I know I consider myself, somewhat elitist. Anyone that knows me can probably agree on that. But at the same time, when I'm in a war zone, when I start trash talking, it's usually because I've been in a war zone with the same person for the last 6 or 7 games, been telling them to do something and ignore it. So please, if you guys want to go off and call someone an elitist, please make sure you know exactly what's happening first, because I know I've been called, oh, why are you shit talking this person?
Disconnected from your channel.
But at the same time, those people that I've been talking to or trying to be nice to for the last 7 or 8 war zones, have been completely ignoring me and pretty much telling me to go fuck myself. So, at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Bad. And as soon as I call that person bad, even though I've been trying to help them for the last 8 war zones, I get trashed on. So
Well, make sure we don't mix up constructive criticism with, trash talk.
Yeah, and
Because-
also at the same time, just because constructive criticism sometimes sounds harsh, doesn't mean it's being elitist. If it sounds like you're trashing on someone,
So to clarify, elitism is basically this person's shit and bringing it up on the fleet. I don't care how they've been. You don't need to publicly ostracize them. You can talk to them one-on-one, whispers, whatever you need to do, or be a leader in the war zone and say, "Hey, can you do this?" If they don't do it, that's on them.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
I completely agree with that, and I completely agree with people acting without elitism and to work to better the PvP community. I think we badly need that. However, while I completely agree with that, and I agree with what people have been saying, still we don't really have any control over that. And how are you going to prevent this? Because despite you just saying this, and we just
I've got this. I've got the answer for that. Again, this comes back to the guild masters talking together. If there's someone that's being a problem and is not willing to put this stuff aside, we ignore them. They're not going to be part of things that are for the server.
Just real quick, I understand that. I just want to know, is this like the getting together and the planning to talk about this? This is great. I mean, I remember something like this happening back in the day where a bunch of us got together on Korriban to have a similar talk. The problem is that no one was in it for the long game. Everyone was looking for a short-term solution, and no one was willing to see. Yeah, no one was willing to see that this is going to be a long process with more failures in between before there's finally successes. And I want to know that as the failures pile up, are people going to start dropping out of it, or are they going to stick to this and try to make it work?
Personally, I'm going to stick through it. I have no problem with talking with other GMs if there's a problem.
User in your channel timed out. User entered your channel.
Some of you, actually, I don't know if I actually have had any problems with any of you guys. But there are people that no. I don't have any problem with that. I will bug you until there is a solution. Essentially, I hope that this group will decide to keep those goals in mind when they're teaching new players, seeing someone not doing well. Bring them in, get them better. This whole thing is about making the server better. Who's the server? Every one of us. If there's a problem person, we have to talk about that as guild masters, or get that person's guild master to talk to them.
True.
Rixpo had
But
a raised
again-
hand.
Go ahead, Rixpo.
Well, when I raised hand, it was back about the server tournaments
User in
and
your
stuff,
channel is
and
recording.
part of it was just to indirectly, I guess, volunteer. My guild isn't really PvP oriented. We do have PvPers in the guild, but we don't have anything officially set up. But we do have, it's kind of like a arena set up, and we were planning on trying to do our own PvP tournaments. But I think that I would be willing to even use the arena that we set up. It has has seats and everything around it for the server tournament or for the league idea. It's like a Yavin combat arena setup in the Darken Bay. It looks pretty nice. So I'm going to kind of work with that idea.
Okay.
To fast forward a bit to what we're talking about now. I mean, just now and then I'll shut up.
Okay.
About helping the community in terms of PvP. A lot of people have to also remember that on Tuesday, with 3.3 dropping, the cost for all this PvP stuff is going to go down, so there's probably going to be an influx of new PvPers.
User
you cannot
disconnected
buy
from your channel.
full sets almost.
I'm
cheap.
actually not too worried about that, because my view on it right now is if people are bad in PvP, they probably don't have PvP gear. So at least now they'll have PvP gear, so they won't be as bad.
I'm not saying that that'll be bad, I'm saying that it's a good time to help people so that they don't try PvP now that they have a set and still get owned. And
Basically, what you're trying to say is keep the atmosphere good for new PvPers. That's the only way we're going to keep new PvPers in there. If you come in for your first time, you get trash talk, you're not going to PvP again for a long time.
Well, yeah, but what if you take like the case of mine, like I enjoy. I mean, I'm a troll, but I'm not a troll who engages in personal attacks and trying to ruin people's fun or ruin people's enjoyment of the game. I just say and do silly shit. So is that going to be like a huge problem, or are people going to see that it's all in fun and trying to keep people not just focused on the PvP but that they're doing, but also trying to have a good time, say, oh well, there's so and so, he's always got something silly to say.
Personally, I think there shouldn't be much talking in war zones other than trying to coordinate as it is.
Oh, you've never.
Yes.
I goof around in Warzone. I'll throw on the yell command and be like, "Hey, I see you guys." Go on the other team and start yelling
I personally think one of the best things of a war zone is interacting with the other team in a friendly. You know, if you've got imps versus imps, what I love to do is if I see people I know on the other team, I'll go into general chat and goof around with them and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up," but they know I'm having a good time.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Like you're engaging in what could possibly technically be considered trolling, but you're not trying to be mean or attack people or ruin what people are trying to do. You're just being your silly knockoff self.
The idea of having a guildmate, a guildmate on the opposite team, you're not going to stop targeting them. You're going to target them harder because they're in your guild.
I'm going to interrupt real quick because we have about 4 other raised hands and we keep going on tangents.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm a lot like a drill sergeant when it comes to the PvP aspect of things. I tend to chew ass, and I tend to chew ass in general, not in person-specific targets. If I'm going to talk to someone specifically about issues that they have, or maybe I have, or we have with each other, that is going to be done in a personal level, in a more private setting, without as much hostility. But if I'm going to tell you to pull your head out of your ass because you're being stupid, it's a general thing. It's not directed at any one person. It's directed at the group in general.
I mean, I get that. I get that, but
shape up and fly right, basically. Is what I'm telling you.
As long as you're not like overbearing about it. As long as you're singling out people who maybe are just goofing off or not taking things as seriously, and you're just saying, hey, how about you get with the program? But as long as you're not being like the micromanager of the group, and you're letting everybody do their own thing.
If
okay.
okay.
I need to bump into this real quick. Hold on. Excuse me. All right. So basically, what we're trying to say is that we need to make PvP a positive place for people. If you're screaming about the group in general, that's probably not a positive thing. Do you think?
Probably positively right about that, and I'm not arguing that point. Okay.
Can we agree to kind of curb that because we need to get more people in there to keep the pops flowing?
It can be curbed, yes. I'm not arguing that, okay? Sometimes it's, hey, you need to pull your head out and square up because we're trying to win this. You don't go to PvP to lose. You don't go into GSF to lose. You don't go on an operation to lose. Okay?
Going to GSF to crash and dash.
You know,
Everybody realizes this goes in a cycle, right? It goes in a cycle. Like Harbinger has beefed up right now to where they have heavy usage. This has light usage. That's going to change eventually, and all these people from Harbinger are going to come back to this server. So whatever we're doing and planning right now, there's a lot of people on Harbinger who aren't involved in this, and they're eventually going to come back, because this has happened several times throughout the time this game has been around. And they're going to come back, and they're not going to know about any of this, and it's going to be a whole new challenge to curb them back into this.
That's fine. So we bring them into the fold.
It's a long game. Yes, it's not.
And that's not
just say hey and then abandon, but it has to be. This is going to be like a long-term thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
And that's what I'm signing up for. If you guys aren't signing up for that sort of thing, I can understand. But we're trying to move this server forward and keep it on top. That's the idea here.
You probably shouldn't be in this channel.
Basically.
That's the best way to put it.
So if we want to keep on going around and around about the what's the word? Lorilla, help me out.
You looking for hostility?
I'm not on the same page as you. I don't know what you were gonna say.
Verbal accusation.
Okay. Going back and forth.
User disconnected from your channel.
My point being is
conduct.
Try and be nicey nice all the time.
It's not about being nicey nice. It's about teaching people that are new. If they're doing shitty, get them involved.
People that are doing shitty under those circumstances.
User disconnected
Absolutely.
from your
I'm
channel.
not even claiming that I'm any good at PvP. It's been ages since I've actually done any. Okay? And I know this, but I'm a tactically aware person. It is ingrained in me. It has been for more than 20 years. I look at a situation tactically and go about it. Training people, teaching people how to do things, I have no problem with. It's when you've got these people that are in there and all they're doing is screwing off and throwing the match towards the other team. Those are the ones that get their asses chewed.
Then those are the people you contact their GM and have them deal with it. That's what I'm trying to say, is you can't, if you want things to move forward, if you're thinking tactically, if you want more people to be jumping into PvP and staying there to make it so you can continue to PvP,
User in
your
your channel
tactical
timed out.
advantage is having more people in, more people staying. Take care of, go to their commanding officer. That's the military thing to do. Go to their next step up.
The firepower that
Could I interject something?
Go ahead.
A lot of the issues when you are encountering people in PvP who are quite literally fucking up at every turn. I've noticed, and having been there at one point, because I'm not the best at PvP, and back when I first started, I was utter shit at it. And it got to the point that if I was really bad in a match, and it was like, you know, the first time I'd really tried that match, and people started calling me out on it, started bitching me out about how bad I was being, I'd purposely say, fuck it, I'm going to help you lose then. So you have to find the balance between telling someone to smarten up and trying to help someone through a situation. Because if you're just going to tell someone to smarten up and they have no idea what they're doing, they're just going to say, fuck it, I'm going to throw the match.
Right, but I've been in PvP and GSF matches where people who know what the hell they're doing are trying to throw the match for the other team.
Then what you're doing?
Probably because someone they like is on the other team and they hate who's on their team.
User in your channel is recording. User disconnected from your channel.
I'm gonna say,
I mean,
all
we're
I'm gonna
all-
say is if you're
we're
in a
all-
war zone to throw matches because you don't like who's on your team, don't queue. Please don't. Because the point is to have fun. And just because you're on a team with like one person you don't like and you throw the match is completely unfair to everyone else.
I
It
agree.
is, absolutely.
User
But I've
left
seen
your
people
channel.
do it.
If you can't,
Okay.
I
have
will
to.
call these
can't
people out
make
directly.
yourself play nice, leave the match.
I agree. I don't think my guild is going to have that much of a problem. We have some serious our PvP players in the guild. Like we have the number 2 ranked Juggernaut on the server in our guild, and some other people in the top 10 with their tunes, and they all take PvP very seriously. So I don't think you are ever going to see any problems in PvP with this guild. But they do not like the atmosphere in the PvP matches. A lot of the times, a lot of the people who join, and I think that trying to curb that here is a very, very good
I'm not
idea.
gonna take it now because if I take it now and I don't know what
I'll say this from
I
the
think to
standpoint
baseline,
of
what people are basically trying to say is you can talk to someone, you can talk to their officer, you can try to correct them, but there's really just no reason to go on a full-out attack. It doesn't solve anything, and if they are completely going crazy
User in your channel is recording.
trying to throw the match or keep not listening or complete idiots, then what will calling them names and going insane on them actually
User
do?
left your
They're
channel.
already not listening and they're already making a mess of things. So they're not going to actually listen to you when you go nutso on them.
All you're doing is feeding a troll.
But something you could do with the website is if you keep encountering someone who is constantly throwing the matches, constantly just being like stupid and screwing things up, and it's not because they hate someone, it's just because they just want to screw up the PvP match for whoever's team they're on, create a blacklist on the website of people that
User disconnected from your channel.
are actively avoided.
User in
True,
your channel is
but
recording.
the thing we have to
You can't do
we're
too
having
much with the queue,
we're having an adult conversation, and it sounds like there are adults here, but we also have to understand that there's a lot of kids who play this game and who play in the PvP, and we're never, no matter how much we try, we are never ever going to be able to make these people see what we're trying to do because they're not mature enough to take that information in and process it in the right way.
Force choke them, bro. You gotta force choke.
Well, they're gonna have to learn pretty damn quick when no guild on the server wants to take them because they're trolling fuck.
I agree.
Got a point there.
Of course, then the issue is that all the people that don't get to join guilds because they're trolls are just going to create their own guild and they're going to call it Trollolo.
You always
Well,
force choke
actually,
them.
no, because that just makes it easier to find the trolls then.
All right. So, can we come to an agreement to bring the atmosphere to a more positive place? Keep it constructive.
Agreed.
Yes, agreed.
Anyone anyone that is a naysayer, say that now.
Roar, I'm a bad person.
Why?
Good with fire.
But no, I actually have something to say on that. This that I've noticed as well, and I've been at fault for. So don't think I'm just trying to say it's everyone else because I've been at fault for this as well. Is it seems our server, most than others, has a very big problem with grudges against other guilds or other people of guilds. And like I said, I know I've been at extreme fault for this. So not just me saying everyone else needs to do it. Because I've noticed, take for example, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this Virasu, but me and Virasu over the last week have not necessarily been on the best of terms. But right now we're sticking it out and we're saying fuck it, let's help the server get better. So I feel like if people are really serious about us actually improving what we want to see improved here, you also need to work on putting aside grudges and more friendly with everyone else that we've not necessarily been friendly with before.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I had said at the beginning here.
Yeah.
We're starting new. Period. Anyone who doesn't feel that way really.
User in your channel is recording.
Welcome back, Lorilla.
I just wanted to say that again because I've already gotten whispers from other people. I'm not going to say names, but I've already gotten whispers saying, "Oh yeah, this isn't going to work because of this person." I want that to stop because we're not that is the main reason right now that we keep going in circles because nobody wants to put aside their grudges and work with each other. They say they want to, but everyone here right now, there's a few people that are just not accepting that. So I want to say right now that
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, you. It's all your fault. Whoever just said that, I don't even know who you are, but no, like I know there's some people in this channel right now that I don't even get along with, but those people that I don't get along with have been the ones that have actually had the most understanding with the things that I've been, that have actually agreed the most with some of the things I've said. So, I know, Dessel, you already said at the beginning, but, go ahead and repeat it, is that people just need to, tough it out and hug it out, because that's also one of the reasons we're not going anywhere. is it's still going on. So the people that are still doing it know who they are, and if you don't want to stop doing that, then you shouldn't be in here.
The other aspect of that is if you don't want to be part of the solution, you are part of the problem.
Yeah,
and even if people have grudges, like I would say that it's okay to continue on still not liking a person or not liking a guild, but if you're going to be in on this, be professional. You don't have to like the person you work with, but if you are both moving towards a common goal, be professional. Put that shit in a fucking basket and put it aside and move towards a common goal.
Right, you can bury the hatchet in their back later.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we have gone over server tournaments, creating a league. We have a volunteer to start that. If you want to post again, that'll be who you contact. Open World Wars, we've talked a little bit on that, not really touched too much on it, though. The big atmosphere about PvP, that's going to be the biggest thing to get people to stay and want to be PvPing with us.
About ranked?
We're getting into that.
Okay, I was curious if we were moving on or not.
Well, you also got to think about this, is there's going to be a lot of our peers that aren't necessarily into the other aspects of the game that are going to be coming into this. You need to make a friendly spot for them as well. Yeah, and we're joining a community of our peers on BergerenColony.org. They're adapting the site for us, for everyone on the server. You got to think about that. That is a huge thing. This is an established community for 3 years. So keep that in mind in how you interact with others, especially when you are in a war zone. You don't know who they are. You don't know where they're from.
User in your channel timed
You don't know
out.
what their situation is. Just think on that while we continue to build the server up. Now, going into actually ranked is one of the next things that we were.
Before we move
on the list
on this topic, you said those that are being screw-offs and intentionally trying to throw matches, and the quote-unquote elitist pricks are all of the GMs here currently willing to step up and say, hey, if that person is in my guild and causing problems, we will deal with it as
Any naysayers to that proposal?
We will deal with that person, not as go tell their GM or go tell an officer in their guild and hope something gets done. I mean,
what you
if we want to be a cohesive unit, we have to work that
User in
way.
your channel is recording.
Okay, so what you're looking for is you want to actually see the result. Well, my point on that would be you're talking to the GM or their officer that's involved in that aspect, and then you do a follow up. Hey, talk with them while you're telling them what's going on. They're going to be asking you questions,
User
and all of that is going to
disconnected
get
from your
resolved.
channel.
If they're not resolving it, then that comes to a bigger problem, and that can become brought to the collective.
I also want to put this out there because this is kind of on the topic of the elitism, but it also brings in the concept of ranked, because, welcoming people into regs and, unranked war zones, that's completely acceptable. There should be no reason to push someone away, not be friendly with them, because it is regs. But someone that's not part of the PvP not understand this when I say that ranked is a complete when it comes to
ranked is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
And
so I do want to let people know that what people normally see as elitism, that for what ranked is, that is required. I mean, you can't.
Now we can agree to keep things civil, correct?
Of course, like you should.
Then that's not a problem. That's not a problem if we can keep it civil.
Yeah. Like you shouldn't be, completely, going off the deep end. But at the same time, rank does require a more serious and more, more ready attitude. So, there is going to be, if someone's not ready for ranked, I personally will let them know, you should not be in this queue. I know, we were talking about, you shouldn't tell people not to queue. But the difference between ranked and regs is that ranked is for the more experienced players. So I know I can say that I'll tell people to get out of the rank queue.
As long as you can say things like that civilly.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, does everybody realize that? I mean, I know people like ranked and they like to win. I mean, hell, we all like to win PvP shit. I mean, I don't even take PvP that serious, but I still like to win. But are we going to still keep the mindset that at the end of the day, this is just a game, and that we shouldn't be too hard on people who are just trying to enjoy a game?
That's a valid point.
There's a difference between being hard on someone and unnecessarily, though, giving shit or attacking.
Exactly. That's why I agreed on the fact of being civil.
A good team, you have to work with your team in your guild, and you have to, or in your group, and sometimes you have to be hard on them. But you can be hard on someone to teach them or train them without tearing them down or yelling or cursing or anything at all of that sort.
Constructive criticism, basically. So
now, if there's another point you brought up, you're like, if someone shouldn't be in the ranked queue and they're already in there, you're in the war zone with them, and you said that you're telling them that they should be out. You're basically forfeiting your match.
What I do is, I think I kind of explained that wrong. What I do is, I will never, not play a game because I don't think someone should be in there. I'll never give up. But what I usually do is, if I'm out, after I finish the war zone, I'll work and be like, okay, this is the strategy, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to play, even if they're not ready for it. And then after the war zone is done, heck, it might even be over Gen Chat, it might be over Whisper, I'll be like, hey, either you don't have the gear, or you don't, you need more experience in regs, or maybe you don't know your class very well, but, you shouldn't be in the rank queue. And, I'm at fault for, doing it.
Basically, this comes down to teaching people. That's exactly all this is. And we talked over this again. This is coming back in the circle again.
Can I make
it's because I'm trying to explain it, like so it keeps going in a circle. But I think my point, like I said, I'm kind of trying not to put it into a circle because trying to explain it kind of does that. But I think my point's been made that the concept of rank does require a little more harsh environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not a disrespectful environment, but a harsh environment.
Yeah, and I don't think we're talking in circles. I think people are just filling in gaps of things that we've discussed. I think people are bringing fresh perspectives to things.
Okay, what I'm trying to say here though is you've got these people who are hardcore PvPers and want to do the ranked. I queue up in non-ranked, and I end up being the fourth person in their 4v4. I have no PvP gear, and they chew my ass for it. Well, you shouldn't queue ranked. I didn't queue ranked. It threw me in with you.
4v4s aren't necessarily ranked.
4v4s aren't exclusive ranked.
No,
so
they're not.
If someone
They're
thinks
not.
if someone thinks they're in a ranked match when you queued up for regs, that they're just all I have to say is they have no brain.
Yep.
You know.
You should probably tell them to get their eyesight to make sure they checked for they queued for the correct match.
But in a nice, respectful way.
And that's what I'm telling you.
Also, I think
It'll
the
throw
nice
ranked
respect.
with solo ranked and solo regs. It'll throw them together.
It doesn't.
No,
it will
Happened
not.
to me
It puts
before.
solo ranked and solo regs in the same match.
They're completely different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I would
never
like-
had that. I've
I
never
would
had
like
that
you
happen.
to know the fact that a regular PvP pop is just plain. It's just enter, don't enter. Ranked PvP pop, big, gold, fancy, and says ranked on it. You seriously cannot miss it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the attitudes.
Yes. That's all I was trying to explain.
In ranked and unranked, we've got trying to teach new players. We've already talked about the open world stuff a little bit. We can touch on that a little bit after this. PvP channel. Does anyone do we want to get promoted through a PvP channel, like a C join type of channel, which we have on the public side? Right.
I mean, it's an RP server. I pretty much
User
joined for the
left your
RP.
channel.
The PvP stuff, I mean, I'm down for that and being civil and talking to our guild about, which most of our guild is civil anyways. But I was really more just interested in the RP stuff.
Yeah, same here. Like, we joined for the RP, but there seems to be a lot more PvPers than RPers out here.
All right. Well, we did get to talk about RP before PvP.
well, you've
that's all.
You've got to realize that this is the discussion on the topic of the server itself, and there is a PvP community here. So this is a community of different people with all different play styles.
Yeah,
so we're trying
I know. I
cover
personally,
all of it.
I personally enjoy both RP, PvP, and PvE. So I'm very heavy, extensive, and
Same
I know
here.
all three topics. I will talk about all three topics for hours on end if I could, but I feel like that'd probably be a bad thing for this channel.
Yeah, very true, very true. Speaking of which, I need to get back to the guild. I think this is constructive. Kudos to you guys for pulling this
User in your
together.
channel
I
timed
will
out.
keep up with it and check in from here and there. So
Got a question for you,
thank you for
Golgotha.
this.
What guild do you represent?
Batiadis Academy.
Okay, and
That's how
can
you say it.
I always wondered.
I wish I was body.
You're not the only one to try and figure out how we spell our guild name. Or pronounce it.
Can you say it one more time?
All right.
Batiadis Academy.
Okay, can you
You
sign
say
up for
Body
Bergeren
Honest Academy from like Spartacus?
Yeah.
Sign up. I see. Post the link to this. Oh, I see it. I see it already in
it's
the
already.
chat. Yeah, I see it. Yes, I will go to that right now.
Thank you, and pay attention for the changes to come because there's going to be a lot of nice aspects added to it.
Like I said, I will keep up with it as long as everybody here is in it for the long haul. Like I said, I've our guild is very old. I've done this song and dance before with people, and everybody kind of bails out quickly. But I'm glad to see this many people in one spot talking seriously about this.
Also, since you're leaving right now, pay attention to the forums for the server wide. We're going to have a group discussion with the Republic and the Empire next weekend.
Big war.
All right.
Oh, that's gonna
All right.
be
Yep. We
very
have
hectic.
we have a sister guild on PubSide called Batiadis, and I'm sure I will talk to all of them about it. There were a few of them here actually earlier, but they had to leave. And yes, I will talk to them.
All right, thank you. All right, so we are set on the attitudes in PvP. Ranked Warzone rules. be civil with the people, but tell them, hey, this is
User
you need this.
disconnected from your channel.
You need this kind of stuff to be able to be in ranked, or you're pulling people down in a nice way. In regular war zones, we're teaching people, not yelling at them per se. If there are problem people, we bring it to their GM. If it isn't solved, bring it to the GM again. And if we have to, bring it to this is essentially like a council, but it's not an official council.
Arenia, if you want this to work, you can't really look at it in a pessimistic
User
outlook like that.
disconnected from your channel.
It's the same. You have to think like I'm looking at this right now, and this reminds me a lot of how you would lead your own guild. Is that as soon as you change a guild rule, not everyone's going to follow it instantly. Same thing with the server. We have to lead by example. Everyone knows who the names, the famous names on the server are. So if the famous names, everyone in this channel and all the famous named guilds start setting an example, then more people will kind of follow that example and say.
Are they trying to say something?
What's up?
I think someone was trying to say something.
Oh, okay.
I was
sorry.
Trying to say something earlier. But... And you know what? Like, please do, because for me and my guild, like, I've always been that guy who's like, I don't want any kind of bad rep. So if you see some of my guys being shitheads out there, fucking report them. I appreciate when people come to me and tell me that my guys are being shitheads, because that falls back on us. They make the whole guild look bad. I kick their ass out. So whenever you guys are reporting to other GMs and to myself, I know for myself I appreciate it.
What happens if it's the GM?
Then we should hold each other accountable. Yeah, call me out. Don't invite me back to this meeting ever.
Yeah, even the GM should be accountable to somebody.
Yeah.
I know. Like if I'm offending someone, like whether it's intentional or not, get on my case about it, because I know I personally am trying to be more respectful to people. I mean, there are times where I've completely failed at that, but I am still trying to be. I'm trying to be, more of a helpful and encouraging
He's
person.
in rehab right now, guys. So I apologize.
Yeah, shut
in
up,
advance.
okay? You don't have to make fun of the fucking cripple.
And that's like with my ass chewing, and I'm just going to say it straight out. It's something I do, but I try to do it as a general ass chewing, not as a person-specific target. If I'm going to do that, I take it to a whisper.
All right. So who was the person that was trying to talk? I missed them. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Oh, that was me.
Who was it?
Exedium from Scions. I was just wondering, you guys were talking about training the new people in PvP on how to play, because not everybody's good. I know I was horrible until I got some help from Lyric and Ravicus, but do you think we can get like a group of volunteers to teach? Because not every guild's going to have a great Marauder, say, or something like that.
On that topic, I think that's a good idea, but also at the same time, you can teach people just by a warzone basis. If someone's in a war zone and they don't necessarily understand, the very complex mechanics of guard, how do you guard like a pro? How do you guard points like a pro? They might not know that because they're new to Warzone. So you teach them, okay, if you just capped this point, you need to leave at least one person on it. You by point basis. You have to have like teachers. That makes sense.
And there are guilds that are on pub side that are offering to do training for that kind of a thing. Knights of Peace was one of them, if I remember correct.
Maybe you can set up some kind of guidelines on website.
I'm working on it now. PvP classes also for website.
Yeah.
A concern I have about PvP classes is like when you have classes, there easily people can poach members out of guilds. So like, for instance, if I have a guy go over to learn from PvP from another guild, they'll be like, you know what, this guild's the shit. I like how they do PvP, and then you just lost a member.
Then you didn't want that person because they're not loyal anyway. But it should be a thing that, if someone is leaving a guild, personally for me, if I'm taking someone that is in a guild right now, I'm okaying it with their GM, just to be sure there's no issues. That's how I do it. I'm not saying that's how you should do it, but I try to avoid it if I can.
To avoid potentially stealing people, quote
Well,
unquote.
right.
When you have, say, Guild A is holding a PvP learning session and Guild B sends their members over there to learn. Instead of that, because there's the potential scalping that would happen with recruits, why not say on this day the person from Guild A will send over their PvP trainer to Guild B to teach the people in Guild B.
And that's something we would need to bring in to when we have the PvP forums and stuff set up for the leaders of the guilds to come in on BergerenColony.org. And we could move that kind of thing forward.
On the whole people leaving, I do want to make, because I've had this happen to me a few times where like
User
I've
disconnected
never met,
from your channel.
I've been in a guild. They've come and they've talked to me like, hey, can I join your guild? And then this person joins my guild after they asked me, and then I get a whisper from someone saying, stop poaching my members. So I think it'd be good if people were also aware that your guild members are their own people. They're not, they're not required to stay.
User
They're
in
not
your
required
channel
to go
is
to the ends of
recording.
Earth for your own guild. If someone wants to go join another guild, you shouldn't hold it over the other guild's head that your member left.
Yeah, they're not.
Right.
They're not part of your inventory that you can just like pull out of your bag.
I've had people on multiple occasions say, you need to stop poaching my members, and it's not even me trying to convince these people. It's just these people saying, I just want to join your guild,
I think we are leaving our current PvP and things about the server, and we're starting to go into interpersonal relations and interpersonal.
I kind of agree on that a bit.
I agree as well.
We're getting way off topic here.
Yeah.
We've been off this conduct for a while. It's just to get
About
into
40
more.
minutes, actually.
Yeah, I know there's just certain things that I think would like kind of improve the servers. Like, I mean, I know we're on like a PvP topic, but what I was just talking about is also something that would also help improve, heck, even guild relations.
There will be more summits though later on in the future.
Yeah.
For us to talk about this on subject
Anyway,
stuff.
continue.
So.
That was just my ramble.
Okay, so we basically talked about all this. Ranked, unranked, server tournaments, the whole atmosphere that you're creating in war zones. We're done with that topic. Is there something new to the PvP topic that you can bring?
Actually, can I just like bring up something that was actually mentioned pubside?
Go ahead, Crimsonus.
Okay, so basically on pubside, we actually ended up talking about some open world PvP, and for our peers, open world PvP can also lead to RP scenarios as well. So you might want to hear on this. So a lot of people want. A lot of people have
User
been asking
disconnected
me
from
for
your
more.
channel.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have been asking me for open world PvP, but there hasn't been enough imps. Like, let's say, like, usually I could run into imps on TAT and just start a whole huge ass war, and it'd be a lot of fun. Now there's barely any open world PvP, and I feel like we should bring that back. And with the channels and stuff, we could easily contact other guilds and bring in as many people as we
User
can
disconnected from your
PvP
channel.
in that way. So
That works.
my big thing is just open world PvP. Get that back.
Well, yeah,
up.
I think that was also covered back in the RP session. That I think actually one of the examples was the old Voss event that used to go on, where we'd go into the Voss Shrine of Healing and battle for it, because that used to also lead to a lot of RP. Like, the people who were defending usually were RPing while they waited for the attackers to come into their room.
I remember working with some imp guilds, and we all planned like events, like we planned like the invasion of Alderaan or the war on Tat. Like, we all RP the scenario, and it actually worked out. And we could always bring that back and try to work on getting more events like this. We could post it on the new server, BergerenColony.org, and it could work if no one.
So,
I
know we've talked about open world PvP. I know we've talked about open world PvP, but I'm curious if this has been talked about regarding open world PvP, kind of like an event.
Yes. So, it was on Republic side. They were talking about just what you were saying. Defend this point, have the attackers. set up a spot where this is going to be the big battlefield where all these guilds come together and boom, everyone's flagged, mass
What
death
I'm
everywhere.
curious is what if we have like so. Let's say we have an event where we have like a attacker defender invade the shrine. Let's say it's I like using this because it's a good example. Is the Shrine of Healing on Voss used to be one of the biggest events that was on this server, and the one thing that I think would be cool to add on to that is what if because we do it and whoever wins there's no true quote unquote reward. So I think a cool way to add on to that was what if whoever's we start it one way. So let's say you have the Republic defending and the Imperials attacking, and if the Imperials succeed in attacking, then the next time the event comes around they have to defend. If they don't win, they have to attack again.
I actually agree with that.
So it's kind
Good
of
idea.
it's a persistent back and forth who's in control. I think that'd be a cool. I mean, there's no true, quote unquote reward to it, but it's a cool. Oh yeah, us Imperials have control of this right now. Screw you guys. It kind of leads more of a there's somewhat of a reason to want to win. It's not just I'm gonna run in there and goof around. It's like no, we want as an Imperial faction as a whole, we want to go into this area and we want to win, so we can say we have control of this place.
I really like that idea. That's pretty cool.
We can
I would like to.
User in your channel
Just
is
a moment
recording.
on this subject because this brings up a pertinent topic for our guild.
Sure, go ahead.
Repeating from Living Drama Free, I think this applies a lot to the recent conquesting factor as far as guilds holding
User in your channel is
both
recording.
Imperial and Republic controlled areas. I feel that bases oftentimes come into play quite often, whether it be a conquest objective to beat turrets, but then that all of a sudden brings in PvP, open world PvP.
It's in a team speak.
elements.
Well, they have a mana just for you to stand there.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but bringing the PvP aspect into it, and also even RP, where you can be protecting a base that you currently control, and then if let's say the Republic Guild is trying to raid your base for, let's say, a commander that you could actually protect, or call in alliances with other guilds that you maybe either work with or maybe they could also help. And that could RP, that could PvP. That could meet.
So pretty much the initial point of commanders was to have Republic defending their commanders. So pretty much the initial point of commanders.
Yeah, basically. For the head of RP at the top.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure that the game designers had planned on that, but why don't I don't see why that doesn't get played into the current role of the game and the mechanics that are already in place.
It's like a game of objectives, let's say. Basically any planet we can PvP on has an objective that we could use for RP or actually just PvP purposes, just for fun. And we can
it's even PvE because then you're going in and attacking the environment as well. And you have to take that into account. So it's multi-purpose.
Yeah, so basically right there we're fitting all three types of gameplay, even conquests. So even 4, except for GSF, that's totally out. But it's basically all connects all together right there, and we can make it happen. It's not that hard. Plan an event every week or twice a week. Get it up on the new server, advertise it within our guilds or fleet chat. We can have some fun with it.
I think that would be definitely. I think again, because how I was just a little bit ago, I was kind of talking about the PvP, kind of like the back and forth control. I think another cool thing to be would be like if let's say it's Republic, and because this would also be kind of nice for the guilds. Is let's say you have the Republic versus the Empire on Voss. If most of the Imperial forces consist of a certain guild, maybe give a shout out to that guild, saying they're the ones that help. They're the VIPs. I think that would also give kind of a incentive for guilds to kind of try their hardest at those events because they want to be recognized as the dominating force because they were doing good. The guilds that did good actually got acknowledged for doing good because they, tried hard during those events, and the ones that slacked off during the events and just didn't really, participate in the events don't get that credit. I think that'd be kind of cool. Kind of an idea. Don't really know how it would work into it, but cool idea.
Well, we could come into that kind of a thing and organizing that sort of a thing using again the BergerenColony.org. That's gonna. I'm really aiming personally to get that as the hub for where all of the stuff can be found, so it'd be easy for everyone to get a hold of these events and organize them. I mean, that's going to be a major tool for GMs together to get things together. So we've got the open world stuff. We've got some great ideas for that. Is there anything else, or can we move on to PvE?
I should add one thing, that Arenia, you have to realize that if there is an event being held by, if there is this event and there are, certain leaders, can't say, I'm not going to follow another guild. That's just, that just kind of seems counterintuitive.
Okay. Let me pose into something right here. You're technically following another guild leading this summit.
Yeah.
So that's a double-sided thing. Yes, there are going to be people that are going to be leading an event, and you're going to be participating. And the same thing is going to happen the other way around.
Oh my god.
We're not actually following orders. Exactly, that's the thing. We're participating as a group. Right, you're not taking orders from another guild. That's true. This is a forum discussion for us to come up with ideas and solutions to make our server and keep it strong. Your dark side, you don't have any cookies, they're fake. Alright, so can we move on to the PvE topics? Or
I did have a question before we moved on. You mentioned that there was stuff from Pubside that y'all went over, and you just said we talked about this. You didn't give us any details on where to get information on that, who's setting it up.
Colony forums.
Can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
If you want, as I said earlier, I've been posting. We have recorded the whole Republic Summit. If you guys want to go watch that. You'll hear everything that we actually talked about.
Where is it located?
Here, I'll post. It's going to be the last link that I'm going to post here in the TeamSpeak chat. And I'm going to do the same with the Imperial, Summit audio. So you can go check that out. It's around 3 hours long, so I'd say watch it now. But it basically is just going to tell you what we talked about during the whole thing. And
I'm kind of summarizing what we talked about is the ideas.
And if you want more specifics, that's the go. We've only touched PvP and PvE and GSF though for the Republic side, not the RP stuff. So that's basically it right there. And that's how you can be more specific on what we talked about.
Crixus, I think, had a question.
Oh, that was a long ass time ago.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with this. My notes taker keeps on popping in and out, getting kicked off.
But can we move on to PvE?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we also talked over PvE very briefly. Briefly, we had about as much time as we do right now. Let's see. We talked about GMs need to be the example for what to expect from their guild in ops, and if say they're leading an op or something. I'm going to focus on ops for a second here. We did notice that there was a lot of problems. It's not really a problem, but it's one of the things that kept us from communicating. Is too many guilds stay in guild only and don't branch out. A lot of the guilds that were branching out and teaching new people, they left the server. Organized Chaos is a very good example. And Trepidation. List goes on. VVV. Dark Hunters, I think, is leaving Imperial side, so that's one that I can bring up there.
They weren't really branching out at all. So
okay. Well, either way, a lot of the guilds that were branching out a lot and bringing in all the new blood, or as much as they could, they're gone. So we need to step up. Having our own guild progression groups, that's perfectly something we should do. But I'm talking about, like, say you have a tank, 2 DPS, and a healer. They don't have a group yet. Hey, that other guild over there needs those spots. That's exactly what they need. Match it up, which again we'll be using the BergerenColony.org to do so.
I think the main problem with PvE is I think this has been I've talked about this with a couple of people, and it's kind of been a even before these guilds left, has kind of been a trending factor. Has been all the guilds that do PvE. They are kind of, like you said, enclosed, but at the same time they're right now, like all the good raiders are spread out between different guilds, and because of the fact that they aren't accepting out of guild people, there isn't as much progression of the server. I mean, there are some guilds that are doing really well, but I personally think you can say we need to accept more people, we need to branch out, but that also includes there needs to be more pugging, in general chat, pulling in people to give them the chance to start doing ops.
Actually, I've got a touch point on that, but we do have a raised hand. Alia. I'm not going to get it right.
Isla. It's cool. Nobody does. Yeah. So I know that Darkest Hour and I think a couple others, they may not be represented on the server anymore, have used a site called Leftovers to basically everybody agrees to a single DKP system, and then somebody agrees to hold a charter, and this is how we do raiding, this is how we do looting. We're going to host a raid here, and everybody sign up. And there's things and stuff. It's very, very, organized. Not everybody likes DKP systems, blah, blah, blah. That's neither here nor there. But maybe if we had some kind of, group or shared calendar that is like, my guild is hosting a raid here, and, we've got, a tank and a healer, but we need a second tank and a second healer and, DPS. So please sign up and please show up. And, you get a chance at the loot, and you get to come raid with us and see operations and things, and just having that be more present for the rest of the server, because I know that we have a couple groups that we trade members with and we fill in for, but that's only a very, very, very small portion of the PvE populace at large. So
that actually is going to be one of the things that we're adding to the website.
That is fan-fucking-tastic. Please excuse my swearing.
Yeah, I know that's one of the problems I had was my guild before a lot of our PvEers left the server was that when we had a spot to fill, we didn't know who to go to ask for it because we didn't know any of the other good raiders in the server, and we didn't know. That's
what this whole thing is all about. We're bringing a hub to everyone to find those things.
That honestly is the main issue with PvE, is that there's not enough communication between the players.
Now, another aspect. We got this shared calendar that's going to be on the PvE part. Actually, how it's going to work on the site, so far as we have it, is there's going to be one major calendar, and it's going to have filters for your section, and then you'll have a page that's devoted directly to PvE and the other aspects. That one will default on the PvE calendar. Now, you'll be able to get all those things wrapped up together. There'll be a forum devoted to that sort of a thing. We did debunk Leftovers as a site to use because it's not server specific, but they do have good ideas there. We are going to be trying to implement those things. It may be a slower process.
It is server specific. The only server that is currently supported is BC, but it is a different site. So while they do have a lot of stuff and ideas, I think we could probably lift if we wanted. I would really prefer to see that it's going where you guys are setting up on the adaptedbc.org or bergerencolony.org, because why split the population?
Exactly. This site needs to be, if we're going to make it work properly, the hub for everyone. Getting as many people involved as possible.
Yeah, we're trying. I think what he's saying is that we're trying not to use outside websites other than bergerencolony.org, because that is bergerencolony.org. That is for the server.
But we can steal wonderful ideas that other parts have and make it very useful for us. No problem with that. So we covered not branching out. Hugging it is a thing that it can be trying at times. But when you're pugging, you want to have a leader that's doing so. Like say, like back to the earlier point, like if we have a group, but we don't have these spots right here. We're trying to find that. Forming groups is probably going to be your best way to keep cohesion for those groups. And if they want to move on to progression style things, you want to have the same group running anyway.
I think another good thing to keep in mind is if you're looking for, if you're okay with teaching new people, especially if it's something more difficult, if you're okay with teaching people and you're okay with expecting a few wipes, then yeah, pug people. But if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I just want to get this done quick, don't pull in random people and then get mad at them because they don't know how to do it. What you should do is, if you're looking for a quick run, ask for them to post an achievement.
And another aspect that will help everyone is if it's, unless they're, say, deaf, have them in a voice program. My guild specifically, like for us, we don't let anyone raid with us unless they're in TeamSpeak. That way we can make sure that they know what's going on. We can tell them on the fly things, just so it stays smooth. And even if it's not smooth, at least everyone is on the same page. The next aspect that was talked about. So the reason a lot of the PvE guilds are leaving is because recruiting and replacing people has become too difficult. We've kind of touched on this already. With the forums, and other aspects that we're going to be trying to implement, we're going to have a matchmaking system in there. It'll probably take some fine tuning just to get it to work properly. But there will be a matchmaking system. I'm just going through the notes here real quick. That's another thing. Anyone who wants to do operations, it's a very good idea to get onto CJoin Crate channel. Crimson, if you can throw that on.
Here it's DEFCON 1. Yeah, it's DEFCON 1. CJoin DEFCON 1. Pub side is CJoin Crate. Looking at it now. CJoin DEFCON 1 is the Imps Ops channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's random.
Well, I mean, for the purposes of solidarity,
seen a single post on DEFCON 1.
Alright, so what we should do, anyone that has an objection to this, can we use the same channel for both sides? For our unified channel, this is the channel you go for ops.
So Crate?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind using Crate. Crate's cool.
There's already a fleet rage channel.
Is it the one that was already discussed just a minute ago? What is it?
I mean, because you guys are talking about making a raid channel, and it's like there's already been one that's been used for a while.
Well, part of the idea, I would be interested in finding out what one that is. But getting people CJoin raids. Okay,
There's one over there called Raiding Help as well.
Yes,
there is, but
we're
the
using
guilds
Crate
that were running that. Yes, using one channel and getting everyone into that channel is probably going to be a little better for unification. And do we know what the attitudes of the people that run those channels are? Because if we have an ops channel, we don't want it to be for boasting about your achievements, belittling people, any kind of negative connotations that you could come to.
Hey, quick question.
Go ahead.
This is completely unrelated. Is it DEF CON Space 1 or DEF CON 1?
DEF CON 1, just
Okay.
all one word.
All right.
But
We'll
capital
use-
D.
Okay, so we'll keep with DEF CON 1 then. So okay, so
Okay.
Do we know what the attitude on that channel is?
if it's good, we're good.
With the raids one?
Yeah, it's very good on the attitude on there because we don't really have a lot of people quite yet. It's pretty much about 6 guilds currently that I'm aware of that actually have joined it at this moment.
And are we talking about the raids or DEF CON 1?
Both. I want to know what they both are.
Raids for the most part is pretty good. Every once in a while it'll turn into a gen chat, but for the most part it's kept pretty clean.
I've noticed most of the raid chats don't really have anyone talking unless it's looking for people to join their raids.
That's the point of it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Which is
We should pick one and encourage people to join because I'm also in leftovers, and that's where we look for people to raid. I've never heard of either of these channels before.
All right.
I'm actually surprised you haven't heard of raids. Raids is extremely common.
Let's choose one now. Make it easier. I'll
Okay.
shut up.
The Republic side has already put where theirs is going to be. Can we make it the same one as them for unification and simplicity?
Doesn't matter for me, but
And just get everyone to come into that channel.
Seems like DEF CON 1 would be a good choice just for the fact that it's the smallest one, which means that it's more room for people that are understanding of what we're trying to do to be put in there. It's not full of people that are already set in their ways.
There are established rules for the crate channel, which is basically what I just said. Keeping it clean, trying to not boast about your achievements, and keeping it positive and making it for getting people into raids.
That's why I said DEF CON would be a good example, a good choice because it's the smallest one, so the people you're bringing in have to accept those rules.
we also gotta look at inactivity though. Even we have to look at inactivity in a way because I know it's weird, but like you can have you can have a jerk in your slash raids, your slash C join raids, and if he comes back, it'll cause a lot of trouble. And the older that the channel is, it's harder to find the original creator, so he can moderate the chat and actually like kick people if it's necessary.
You can't kick people in our chats in
you
custom
can't.
channels.
In
There's
cha-
no
in channels,
reason.
yeah. In channels,
Uh-uh.
No, you can't.
No.
You can? Oh.
No.
Nope.
Damn. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's absolutely
I
no
thought-
moderation.
I thought you could ban people.
Pretty
Nope.
sure you
Nope.
could. No?
That would be lovely.
Otherwise, DWBI would have been off a long while ago.
Yeah, because you can. It says right here you can slash C kick player from the channel, or slash ban channel name player.
You can add a password to it.
Yeah. I'm looking at
But
the
that
commands
doesn't-
now.
that
Though.
doesn't help.
Ban people and stuff from your channel.
I'm looking at the commands now. It seems you can. But you can lock the channel, password, ckick, slash ban, slash mod, slash unmod, slash mute. Yeah. Bunch of commands I'm looking at now. Don't know if they work though.
Talon, try banning me from DEF CON 1, see what happens.
Right. There should never be a password on.
We
on
weren't
these
even
channels.
talking about putting a password. We were just talking about the commands.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
just going through all the commands that are listed right here.
My concern with DEF CON 1 is that it's not really logical. Like, slash raids. Yeah, that makes sense. I tried joining
Nope.
slash raid and there was nobody there. So
If you guys want to do slash raids, I have no problem with it. If we want to unify with the Republic and start from scratch, we could do slash crate, slash join crate. or we can do DEF CON 1. It's all on you guys. Pub side, so.
What if we
Well,
brought
actually,
this up?
actually, I do disagree with the fact of it being like doing slash raids. That means that anyone can. Oh, hey, yeah, it's logical to do slash raids. I'm gonna go into slash raids and start posting my achievements.
Then everybody shouts them down and you slash ignore them.
Yeah, you could do
it's
that.
still. I mean, it's still more opportunity for trolling.
Well,
Okay.
I could do a straw poll right now.
With the logical one, but not using a pre-established chat that already has been, connected by so many trolls and whatnot.
I would prefer not to use an actual one that's already made, except for Crate is actually made, but it's by the people that were from the
User
Republic
in
side
your
that came
channel is
over.
recording.
Or what about like OpsChan or something like that?
Here, let me see. Let me leave DEF CON 1. And then I can create it because I actually have quite a bit of experience with this, so I moderate it pretty easily.
I don't really mind if you create it, as long as we know who created it.
Yeah, I'm on quite a bit. So, what do you want it to be called? C-join.
We could put a straw poll or put all our
It could be
names.
pretty easily just name it BC Ops.
Yeah, that works.
Put it like this. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
That looks like B Cops.
Yeah.
Everyone be cops.
No, this looks like BCO.
But yeah, like raid, like that's simple, that's easy.
Yeah, BCO
you know.
would be. I'm cool with BCO, like just BCO. You guys are down. BCO and
BCO.
I'll make the change right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bacon Cookers
Not incorporated.
Bacon Cooking Omnipotence.
Obvious.
Alright, yep, it's working. Just fine.
Okay.
There you go. So it's settled. I just changed it in the big link thing. Don't forget to advertise the chat these channels. So.
User disconnected from your channel.
BCO. There we go. I'm in.
I'm not. Whenever I look at that, I just see fucking bacon for some reason.
Bacon Company Originals, or they're Baking Cooking Online. That works too. Yeah, so just advertise these chats.
What is the
channels,
PvP channel?
/ CJoin Warzone.
Warzone or Warzones?
Warzone. And then there's also the GSF one / CJoin GSF. And
too many channels.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to delete some of mine to do it. All right, so we've got a channel. We may have to revisit that when we get to the server wide.
Is there an
just
RP
letting you know.
There's no RP
There
channel
is.
yet.
There
Oh,
is.
There is? Okay.
Let's see. Somebody brought it up on bc.org. It was Imperial OOC and Republic OOC.
Yep.
I'll add that to my list here.
Can you put it in the TeamSpeak chat?
Yeah, I'll have it
User
posted in a
disconnected
sec.
from your channel.
Give me a second here, so I'll load it up. So, it's OOC?
Correct. It's what
Okay.
I posted.
So, I'll start with Republic OCC.
OOC.
Yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay. And it's Empire or Imperial?
Imperial.
Okay.
Okay.
User
there
in
was
your
a-
channel is recording.
There was another aspect that we brought up that is an amazing tool for anyone who wants to do any kind of PvE anything, especially ops. I'm going to pull up the site for it, but it's called StarParse.
StarParse.
I will tell you right now, as a healer for my prog group, it has helped me become immensely better.
StarParse is pretty much required in any sort of hard mode 60 or Nightmare 55.
Yes.
It's pretty much required.
What it breaks down, it breaks down if you're a healer. I know it's another thing to add, but it breaks down.
It's a good way to tell if your tanks are too squishy, if your DPS aren't doing enough damage, or if your heals suck. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
There we go. Should be good.
Basically, that's what it does, but it also tells you what your rotation was, what move you used at what exact time during the fight, how long the fight went, what your effective heals or damage or absorption rate are. Who did you have to heal most? What did you do damage most to? How did you do most damage? It breaks everything down, so you can look at everything. It's a lot of stuff, but it has nice little filters all over.
I know my most my main use for star parse is to see if my DPS are pulling their weight, to see if the tanks are taking as little the damage that they should be taking, and also to star parse is amazing with its combat timers. So if you don't know when a move is coming, combat timers usually have those up there. Like for TOS, the walker bombing that you have to do, it has a timer for that.
Yep.
So that's
yeah. Timers, if there's any kind of timed event in an op. Although what I found
User in your channel is recording.
What I found is that it's mostly sticks to the HM mechanics. So I'm in SM, but it's something to look for. It can warn you of something that's coming up. It's an amazing tool. Everyone should be using it.
Done.
I said that a lot in the last one.
An account on this website. I just don't remember what it is.
All right. So talking back into PvE stuff, we talked a little bit in
User
Republic side.
disconnected from your channel.
PvE, sorry. We talked a little bit on flashpoints, getting people into flashpoints. I think the same rules that or guidelines, I guess we put it, for the PvP should apply to the flashpoints and ops. Just be respectful. If you're teaching something, remember, sometimes people don't realize what they're doing, and they need to be taught how to do it, especially in an op.
User in your channel is recording.
I think that's all my notes for PvE. So do we have something new? Raise hand. We've got Talon first. Lost Enclave.
One of the big things that I would like to see encouraged by guild leaders, I've been doing that more and more with my guild. We've been having some amazing success. Is really encouraging. If you see somebody posting, make a comment. Even if you can't go, just make a comment and say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't go, doing this, but let people know you're paying attention to it instead of it just going through, but then at the same time, people realize, oh, hey, this is a great place to go. Let's do this, and people are still interested in running stuff.
So basically what you're saying is when we're using this SEOps channel, even if you're not able to come, just let people know so they know someone is actually paying attention to the channel.
Exactly. That because if you are getting into something, you're trying to go through. Because I can't tell you how many times, I left a couple of channels, but I have 5 different channels that I was subscribed to just for posting for ops, and I can't tell you how many times you'll repeat that, 5 to 10 times, and just over say a 20-minute period, and nobody pops up saying anything. So you get to the point where, well, forget it. Let's just GF it, and if nobody else comes, okay, then we'll just disband.
Well,
I had Rixbo had a raised hand as well for that.
I'd like to point out that in that same situation, you can't always go into those ops chats and be looking for, well, we need 2 tanks and a healer for this. Because a lot of the times, if people don't know it, they don't want to be responsible for healing it. They don't want to be responsible for tanking it and trying to control the damage because they don't know what's going on. They haven't learned the op itself. they'd rather go as a DPS the first time. And if your group is full of DPS because you have these people who don't want to tank and don't want to heal, then you're going to have difficulties finding these people who want to tank and want to heal, but they don't go because they don't know what they're doing.
Okay, so Rixpo had a raised hand for this.
Well,
or something.
It was on. Yeah, it was on PB. Basically, like on the official Star Wars forums, there used to be the progression thread tracker and the DPS tracker. I was wondering if there were thoughts on, I guess, doing that again, since all the guilds that manage that have pretty much left.
Actually, yes, that is one of the things that we are going to be implementing into like a forum post, or we're trying to work out the details on how we're going to apply that to the PvE section of the website.
And then, because basically that allows to try and promote not just like help teach the people, but also promote server progression. Just so we're not like, just like nobody on the server ever gets to see like hard mode revenue, for example, or push the progression of the server as a whole. I would like to see.
Yeah, that's actually part of the website. Getting the matchmaking done for groups to form progression groups to just do SM ops or whatever kind of ops you want to do. There will be a DPS tracker. We're working on figuring out a heal and tank tracker. There was another raised hand.
I just wanted to take the silence here right now to say, for the first time I was here, this is great. I love how everyone's getting together, but I am struggling to keep my eyes open now. I worked a 7-hour shift today, and I've had no sleep since, so I must depart.
That's fine. We will have the notes and this whole video posted.
Awesome.
Thank you for your input and the support for this.
Yeah, well, no, 100%. All right, take care, everybody.
User disconnected
I'm gonna mess
from your
this up
channel.
again. Tour.
Hi everyone. If the problem is mostly communication and getting people to raid, and you need certain tunes and DPS heals or tank, how about BC set up a universal TS where everyone can just go? PvP, PvE, RP sometimes, maybe. I mean, basically PvE, if you want communication that you don't want to fail, a certain, you have better communication if you want to PvP or have ranked PvP. If all of us contribute to one TS, I mean, you could still have your individual TS for your guilds, but if there's one that we can go to, if we're against pubs, so I mean, who wants really to type when you say, we need to go south or incoming grass or something like that?
I really like that. A channel
The
where
only problem with that is that means there has to be someone to pay for it.
Yeah, but we could all pay for it. We could contribute, Like, for example, if, let's say,
The only problem with that is that goes south real fast because it says, oh, these guys will pay for it, I'm just not going to pay for it, and...
Well, we could, take, turns paying for it. I mean, it's not expensive.
Well, the other aspect you got to think about is the limit for how many you can have in a server. I don't know what the maximum is. Right now, ours is at 100.
Yeah, I don't really see BC having 100, at the same time, at the same hour.
Okay, think about this right now. I'm going to give you an example. When Rain was in its heyday, I've been in their TeamSpeak, and they had 50 people on in their TeamSpeak doing various different raids, 16 man. So say you have two groups of 16 man. that gets swallowed up real fast. My guild in itself, I have 20 people on generally. A lot of people have stayed away today just to clear up a little space for us, but.
Well, you could make individual channels within this, like, you know.
I'm talking about the maximum.
Only so many people.
Right, I know. Yeah, I know there's a limit, but you know, if you can't get in, then you can't get in.
I mean,
but if you're looking for a group for rank and you can't find anybody, you know, it could be somewhere that you could go to find someone interested in doing something. I mean, it could also be PvE. It doesn't have to be exclusive to PvP.
There was a thing brought up
User disconnected from your channel.
in the chat here.
Said more honestly, I like what Talon just said, having a link to each of the individual guilds' TeamSpeak.
Yeah,
the
like
problem
me
there
myself.
could be with that.
Go ahead.
The problem there could be with that is because I liked the original idea more so because if I'm in a PvP match and we're doing Novara Coast, you know, I just want someone to say, go into this room on the Bergeren Colony TeamSpeak, and we'll coordinate on that. I can just go into the channel I have bookmarked, do that thing, and we're all in the same place instead of saying, hey, everyone in this war zone, here is our TeamSpeak info. Hurry up, type it in, and find us in this room. So the issue I saw is that, you know, the effect of, you know, getting people... The issue of getting people into your TeamSpeak is that, you know, that's a whole lot of different TeamSpeaks. I like to...
Yeah, it wouldn't be one guild specific TeamSpeak. It would be one that's set up for BC.
Except, I mean, the only problem, it's a good idea, but there's just people are gonna. The thing is people are gonna fight over who pays for it, pretty much. I know you say that you can take turns, but people are gonna fight over it. This is how it's gonna work.
That is a lot of drama that could be avoided. Having a list of different TeamSpeaks is probably a more viable one. Me personally, I have a whole list of bookmarked TeamSpeaks. When we had Ventrilo, I had those as well. Basically, the guilds that you work with more closely, you're probably going to share the information for your voice program anyway.
I mean, I know I already have guilds that I don't even talk to anymore. I mean, I have, you know, a bunch of them here.
A side note for Caden, it is a little tricky for the sign up for some people. The I am not a robot thing is, I had to do it a few times myself. The sign up process for bc.org is going to be changing as well. We'll be making that a lot easier to use as well.
It was made by our peers who wanted to keep trolls out, so unfortunately it is causing us problems. So it's going to be changed.
Okay. All right, so do we have any other options to help with the PvE aspect, or can we come to closing stuff?
Yeah, we close it. Yeah, we can close it, I think.
I don't think there's much to talk about with GSF.
Well, GSF actually.
Oh, you're a good point. We need to bring that. Go ahead, Crimsonis.
Okay, well, for GSF, we have that GSF chat now. We're trying to get as many like pre-mades, and also we're Warbirds and Jedi Council on the Republic side. They started something called GSF nights Tuesday and Saturday. So we could organize something where we can where on the same nights you guys as imps can join the GSF and. Wait, I'll just post this for you here real quick. The GSF channel's right there. /C join GSF. But we can organize GSF night for the Imperials as well. so you guys can come fight us while we do our Imperial nights. So it's every
User
Tuesday
in your
and
channel
Saturday,
disconnected from your
or is it
channel.
Wednesday and Saturday? I want to say it's every Tuesday and Saturday. We have GSF nights, so you can always just come a pilot against us, and we'll have some fun with that.
Or with us, because Imperial Command is the sister guild for Jedi Council.
True that,
so
too.
we will be flying on both sides of the line on those 2 nights.
User disconnected from your channel.
Additionally, with GSF, there are actually 2 really big points that with Jedi Council we try and hammer home to everybody that we fly. And that is, do not spawn camp and do not triple cap unless you're behind and
User
you
in
need
your
it to
channel
win.
timed out.
Galactic Starfighter is what GSF is.
Yeah, and also GSF nights, we also use TeamSpeak to communicate. Like I'm pretty sure an Imp guild can just be like, come join our TeamSpeak for the GSF night, and you guys can easily communicate. Like we all jump in the Jedi Council's TeamSpeak for those nights, and
as Crimson is saying, with Jedi Council, we do have that open and available to people. We do have actually separate areas. The Imperial Command has its own set, and Jedi Council has its own set, so you can be Imp separate from the pubs, or we can be all in the same chat room just laughing at each other and having fun.
we could do that actually. Pretty sure Chio wouldn't mind.
Oh, I know Chio doesn't mind.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's fun when you're fighting, you got 8-10 people in the chat and you're all in GSF and you're fighting against each other. It's just
so much
fun.
It is.
You build camaraderie that way.
By the way, Dessel, I would not advise giving the TeamSpeak to that person. They are pretty.
She's just here to troll.
Yep.
I'm not. I'm pretty much all inclusive for everybody, but I know what that is. Thank you, though. So GSF, we got those. Go ahead.
Earlier you had said about me leading a RP thing. I found on the website. The misunderstanding was it's not me. It's the guy's alt that he put to also contact other than Sir Wistian is Caban or Caban.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I'm not leader of the RP meeting at all or anything. I'll attend it, but I'm not.
Either way, when you do get to log into it, there is a very obvious calendar. It'll show you all the events that are going on there.
That's where I found this. I have the calendar. I know the schedules and stuff. You can do that without logging in.
Okay.
Cool.
So, anything more on GSF?
Besides advertising the channel and advertising the events, the 2 days that we're going to be doing GSF night, that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it would be good to get people try to help new people into GSF.
That too, yeah.
I know there are a lot of people who don't try GSF because they try it, they spin around because they don't know the controls, and then they just quit after one game.
And a lot of the problem with that is if we've got a full Jedi Council run going, 8-10 people. Actually, let me take a look right now. Right now, we got 4 people on Jedi Council flying GSF. I can pretty much guarantee it. And you're looking at some of the better pilots that we have. When you've got new players, Imperials going against that, you're pretty much going to get smashed. You're right. But with GSF, the things you got to remember, and you got to get new players to remember when they start with it, is you're going to suck at GSF until you don't suck anymore. I mean, some of us can go in with, basic noob ships on alts because we haven't upgraded any of them. and still do pretty well, but that's because we know how to fly those particular ships.
And I think Chinusu, the Jedi Council leader, he did put out a GSF classes, like we talked about the PvP stuff, and that's open for anyone that wants to come.
It is absolutely. And Chio flies imp side and pub side. Actually, most of JC will fly both sides without any problem.
Vairasu? I think that's
okay,
the
I
first.
just want to throw this out there. Every Friday, my guild hosts something called Fight Night, where all of us get around and just kick each other's asses and try to see who's better than who. Not really better than who, but who is challenging. And it's a whole lot of fun. And it's not really a tournament. There's no really rewards or really anything like that. It's just come. If you want to freaking square up with somebody, you do it. We allow anybody to come. If you guys just hit me up at 5 p.m. PDT on a Friday, I'd love to see you all there. We're going to be doing it at the upcoming Yavin Stronghold. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Do we have anything
User
more on
disconnected
GSF?
from your
Because I've got
channel.
a few things left.
I think we're good.
All right. So one thing we touched at. Sorry, Battle.
User in your channel is recording.
Battlecat, did you say something?
I pretty much said it too. We have with Jedi Council and the Warbirds and Crimsana there. We're flying Tuesdays and Saturday nights. JC will be flying on both sides of the ball. I know that Sith Praxium was doing the same as well, because we didn't always meet up. When you got the new players, encourage them to join the GSF chat, which is the same on both sides. But explain to them, yeah, it's going to be rough. Yeah, you're going to take a lot of hits and you're going to get blown up and you're going to be on the bottom of the charts until you get better, until you get your ship upgraded. And then you'll
basically
User
it's
in
like
your channel timed
it's
out.
just like PvP. You gotta work into the gear. It's going to be the same thing.
Right.
Is there
niche with GSF because there's difference. I mean, some people are the scout strike fighter, some people are the gunship, and some people are the bomber. You find what you're good at. I mean, it's like being a tank, being a healer, or being DPS. You've got to figure out which position you do the best at, and go from there.
Okay. Any last things for GSF that we have not covered already? Okay. One of the things that I brought up at the last part of the last meeting for Republic was having a video to advertise our server and faction aspects of the game for our server. Little 15-second things, or up to a minute or whatever. Does anyone want to be on board for that?
I'll definitely be on board for that.
What was it? I wasn't paying attention.
Sorry, I missed it. What'd you say?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
We're going to make videos, or we're going to try and make videos to advertise our server for the different aspects of the game and our server in general. Is anyone on board for that?
Sure, I'm down.
Yes.
What would you need specifically, or is this just a conceptualization?
I can be the poster boy of the server. It's okay.
Okay, so we had a volunteer on Republic side. I'd have to get back to the notes on that one to figure out who that was to do some of the video stuff. If we have anybody in here that has video experience and would be willing to help with this project, can post in the forum. Let me know now, and post in the forum just so I have a backup copy.
Project is post for the server.
Okay, so the forum that you would post if you wanted to do a video would be the Imperial Summit forum on the Swtor website. This is for all the after notes for this summit. Twitch advertisement, we could do. Right now, the concept. Right now, the concept is making a few second videos, showing different things that we do as a community that we're bringing together right now to advertise to people that are either not playing the game or on other servers, whatever, just to get the word out there. Right now, we have starting to get an active Facebook thing. One of the people that was in here earlier made an Instagram for us, and Chinisu made a Twitter for this whole server project moving forward.
While I don't actively do a lot of the video capture for our guild, we do have somebody that does some video capture for us. I could refer them to said site and submit some video that we already have done.
Sure, that would be wonderful. Just so we can get that part of the thing moving. I will be bringing that up more for the server-wide summit, because that's going to involve both factions.
I mean, I can help. I do the video capture for my guild, and I've made random YouTube videos, so I can help. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you want in the videos, but I can throw my hat in to help.
Okay. I mean, it's a concept right now.
Started. If I should post those anywheres.
Yes, if you could post them on the forums for the Imperial Guild Summit. We were taking those from the Republic one as well. You can check those out.
Sounds good.
Any other issues that we should talk about before we close?
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Is there anything we should prepare for or prepare to bring to the Imp and Pubside summit?
Prepare your patience, for one.
Bring your weapons.
There's so many people there.
Bring weapons and cookies.
I'm still trying to work out a lot of the finer details for it. Just keep in mind the points that we've already discussed. We're going to bring them up as a group and nail down what we're going to follow for, like, say, yes, we need bacon. We must have the bacon.
User in your channel is recording.
Go ahead.
I do have one thing about before we close, and it's a while.
Shots fired.
A while back, I think Dog Hunters hosted the last summit. I think, or whoever hosted it, but they made the summit, but at the end, nothing came out of it. At the end, like there's a lot of talk, lots of ideas, and then just kind of fizzled 2 months into it. I just want to make sure that we do our best to not let that happen again.
Okay, what community were you talking about? You were talking about are you talking about the council that Janari tried to pull together?
No, there was some.
Dark Hunters
There was some summit like a long time ago.
Okay, my bad.
I forget who hosted it, but then they had ideas, and it kind of like went a bit, but then it just kind of like fizzled, and we went back to the old ways. I think.
So I know about 3 summits that happened before this. I fully intend to be in here for the long haul. This is, why I'm spending so much time working on this and organizing this, which has been taking days and a lot of time out of my personal being able to run my guild. We're fixing this website so that it's adaptable for everybody as a server hub. I'm hoping that you guys will all disseminate that information to your guilds, get people in there so they can watch the changes, see what we're doing there, and keep everyone here in the loop. We can't lose sight of keeping this server strong, because once we dip down to a certain population, we'll be merged with some other server. And do any of us want to have to start over with another group of people?
No.
Negative.
I mean, even if we don't end up getting merged with another server, how fun is it going to be if we can't have these things that we've already set up to work together on?
I'm in total agreement with what you're saying, because right now I don't think any of us really want to see the server go down. We've all put a lot of effort into guilds, into our
I
setup.
actually have a curious question pretty quick. How many people here are like into RP?
Say again, over.
We had a ton earlier. I don't know how many. A lot of
I
people
think they all left.
Okay.
I'm still
I
here.
am.
I'm still holding out.
The reason I ask is because one of the best things to ever come to RP is in-character guild feuds. Guilds. I mean, it doesn't have to be actual feud, but I'm talking about like character for fun. Guilds at war. The guild leaders could be best of friends, but in character, have a feud going on between these
User in
two
your channel is
organizations. That I've noticed has been some of the best ways to get people into that type of content, because it's I don't know, it's more,
As long as done right, it can be a tricky subject because that can sometimes dive into drama. You would have to be just careful that it's done correctly.
That goes into organized PvP. That goes into the organizing an RP event within guilds that we talked about earlier. That's definitely something that we'll be looking into doing. So, just since this is the second summit, I'd like a little bit of feedback if I could get some.
I will give feedback.
Feedback that I've got for you is when we go to the server-wide summit for both the Imp and the pub, when you opened up with the PvP, you listed what topics had been covered and asked for new territory on those. I would suggest doing the same thing, but have all 4 of those topics, or whatever new topics are going to be at the server-wide summit, be listed. Okay, this is what we're looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does anybody have anything new? That way we're not hashing and rehashing what we've just covered as an Imp side and what you guys covered as the pub side. Again, when we've got twice as many people here.
Right. I will be working on getting a full list of everything that's been talked about and solutions for them. I've been taking a little bit of notes. I've got a few other people taking notes as well. So we'll be compiling that. Probably take a few days to get that completely rounded out. But in the meantime, I would highly suggest listening to the Republic Summit, so you're on the same page as them.
I'll just talk to Chianesu.
Just posted the Republic Summit right there. It's the last link to the TeamSpeak chat.
I mean, it is a time sync, just like this one will be for the Republic. I'm going to be asking them to look at this one as well, or at least our notes, just so they're on the same page as everybody.
Right. Blazing
I do
is the chronicler from my guild, but he also flies on, or again, JC and Imperial Command. So we're going to have this pretty well covered just by communication.
I do foresee one hitch in the ops area with the chat program. It's probably going to come up. The Unity's sake of it, but we'll work through that all.
My only piece of advice would be to make sure, I know I was at fault for doing this, is make sure people, like, if they're raising their hand, make sure that when they're talking that they don't like have another question added on to that question. Make sure it stays on the topic of what was being discussed, because we start out, okay, we're going to go down the line of each person talking. We got 10 people in, and that 10th person just pretty much started the entire the rest of the conversation for that section. So I think, in my opinion, would be to make sure people stay on the topic of what's being talked about. So if we're talking about PvP tournaments, it shouldn't be it should be about PvP tournaments, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that one definitely being a thing. I'm working on getting a better system. This time around was a very different system for turn-based than we used for the Republic one. The Republic one worked a lot better. And I'll be trying to find a middle ground with that. Anyway, I thank you all for showing up. Definitely showing an interest into the in making our server better and keeping it that way. Can I get everyone to line up on the stairs so we can get a giant picture?
God damn it! Here, I'm on my way back. I'm at the shuttle.
I gotta get my spot right here. There, we're good. We're good. I'm at the same spot I was in the pub picture. That was fun.
Also,
Lou.
time for everyone to thank our moderator. It takes a lot to put all this together for the server.
Yeah,
gather us all together. So thank you, Dessel.
Give a hand.
Thank you very much.
A hand, Des.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for getting this together.
Indeed.
It's a sick summit.
I need people to be a little closer together, so but spread out a little bit.
Basically, squish me with your mouth. That's fun.
All right, I'm gonna give you a frame. Just a second here.
Remember to put on outraged if you don't have a mask on.
Try not to block other people.
Are we taking a screenshot right now or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can you count down when you take it?
Alright, you guys are gonna have to give me 2 moments. Some guild shit went down, had to go to my flagship real quick. I can be down there in no time.
Okay.
Don't worry, we got some time.
I'm gonna be waiting for my timers to go off, for my statues that I threw down, just to give everyone enough time. But if we can spread out a little bit within that, like come up some steps or right, push to talk's a bad button, but
I'll put my camera at max distance here. Let me see how far it looks.
Can I get? Is Cronus in this room?
Get that hut. Yeah, thank you.
I'm thinking about doing /Neil, but I don't know.
User disconnected
Turn
from your
off
channel.
nameplates, maybe. /Neil, how does that look?
Oh, the typing cracks me up.
Same combat.
Alright, so do we got everybody? If anyone's in the front row, you need to be off a mount.
I will actually be there in 2 minutes. I didn't even know that Manon was not a location you could go to with a flagship.
Yep, because you can't conquest it.
Ah, that makes sense.
Damn it.
Can't conquest Yavin or Rishi, can you?
Can you
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Can I have the new edition Rancor to go to the opposite side? That's the gray one on the right.
Beside,
He's not in here.
right beside the do back.
Lame sauce.
User disconnected from your channel.
I'm just gonna say this picture is gonna look better than the pub picture. I'm gonna put that out there.
Well, it will when I'm there.
Yeah, but we still had more pubs at the pub summit.
Well, that was at the ending. We had more imps here at the beginning than the pub one had.
No, we didn't. According to what the channel logs, no. Does say we had 62 people in the TeamSpeak. We had 58 maximum for this summit. 4 people short.
Sorry, imps.
I don't know, man.
You should have told me. I would have brought in people from my guild.
Okay, how about this? At the server wide.
Hey, I was told that we could only bring one person. I brought one person.
Same here.
Yep, and that's what we did on Republic side.
Server wide though.
Some
Server
people
wide.
brought like 10.
I know a couple of the imp guilds that I'm friends with. They're not going to this one. They're going to the RP one because they don't PvE at all. I did not expect PvE to RP at all to be a topic.
Well, let's just
for a point for that. I've had a lot of dealing with that this entire week. I've tried to alleviate that the best I could. I tried to get the word out.
That was not a criticism. I'm impressed that we got as many Imperials for this as we did, because I know you guys are primarily Republic people.
58 people.
I don't know if you guys can try and curb that ideal that the RP wasn't going to be a thing. That'd be great. Because I've been trying to fight this entire time.
RP.
So you're not doing RP.
The Imperials are also role players.
Well, you see, the thing about it is, we're here to make the server better, and people got to realize that no matter what play style they prefer, that they're gonna have to interact with everybody if they want to have an impact on the server.
Oh, they totally do. The people who are already on the website, they're all like, "Cool, more people. That's totally awesome."
But they don't want to be part of the discussion, aside from the few names that I can point out right here that I've seen before in there.
Well, a lot of them aren't
Like you.
guild masters.
I was actually pretty surprised that as many people as I thought like nobody in this channel knew me, but a bunch of people know me apparently.
I don't know. Some of you might know me more on my Republic side.
I'm sure you all know me.
Side, I don't know you. I don't know anything
we
on
know.
pub side.
Well, when I heard it was Revis Colonial Alliance that was doing it, I kind of knew, generally who was going to be here. But I mean, I didn't expect the turnout like this. This is impressive.
I'm going to point it out like I did in the last one. It's Revis.
Okay. I'll try to.
It's a playoff of Revan.
All right, guys, where would you like me to stand?
In a place that's not blocking someone. Because my entire view is a blocking someone.
Yeah. But guys, don't forget, server wide, it's gonna be a war.
This?
Yeah, I can
I
be
kill
select for PP. It's server wide, right?
I kill you.
Yeah, server wide's gonna be a war to see who has the most people.
I am down
I think
for that.
server-wise should just be see how many people on the server we can get in one spot.
Let's not do that. I don't want to crash the server.
No, but like most
that
of what
should
it'd be.
That should be our goal: is to crash the server.
Yeah. After
After trying to fix the server, let's crash it. Okay.
Send it to the
Good job.
devs.
Be like,
Hey, if we crash the server, it proves they don't have to server merge us because there's so many of us.
Good point.
There you go.
All right, so I'm gonna take a picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
And now I'm gonna take one without nameplates.
Good luck reading those nameplates in the first place.
This is a big
so
blob
cluttered.
of green and blue.
I agree with Kronos. I'm down for dueling.
Watch the
Very
lag
much
appear. Everyone would kill you because of the lag. Go ahead.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
That was successful.
Again, thank you everyone for showing up and showing interest. If you could spread the word, I'm not. Right now, I'm not.
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh God.
Oh shit, I'm lagging. Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Too many people doing now.
All right. If we could spread the word, I'm not sure if we'll be doing GM +1 for the entire server. I'm gonna try to. I gotta talk with the guy that does my team speak to figure out what we can do for population. Because if everyone shows up that came here, we're going over our limit.
We could kick out your other members. They were kind of here, like in the bottom. Your other members that were in here. Arrow, Skip.
Lag. So much lag.
To be honest, it's not that bad.